challenge for the Brewers today. Face a man who 1 week ago in Cincinnati threw his second career no-hitter. Jake Arrieta ready to take the mound here at Wrigley Field. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the night with luxury. Clouds and cold again, but dry for now. 46 degrees. Wind is whipping off the lake, but we will have baseball here in Chicago this afternoon as Craig Counsell and the Brewers trying to get a split in this series. A rain out last night, a rain makeup date still to be determined. So looking to get a split before heading back home. Here's Counsell's batting order presented by Potawatomi. Jonathan Villar back at the top. Alex Presley getting another start in right field. Ryan Braun, hot hitter for the crew. Jonathan Lucroy hits cleanup. Carter Nieuwenhuis. Hill, who has hit Arrieta well. He's hit the Cubs well. Yadiel Rivera starting at second. Taylor Youngman batting ninth. And that's the order that will face Jake Arrieta.
Arrieta in his fourth season. He came midway through the year in 2013 from Baltimore, and boy, has he figured things out. You know, the Cubs have allowed him to throw the baseball the way he chooses, not messing around with him too much. Incredible numbers. They just jump off the page at you. He's 4-0, a .87 earned run average. He's given up 3 runs is all this year. All 3 runs coming in one start, a win against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. He's given up only 15 hits in 31 innings, coming off that no-hitter his last time out against the Reds in Cincinnati. Let's check out the defense brought to you by Menards for the Cubs. You got Chris Bryant, Dexter Fowler, and Jason Hayward in the outfield. Lascella gets a start at third base. First time he's been over there this year. Russell Zobrist pretty good up the middle. Anthony Rizzo at first, and David Ross with Miguel Montero. Got a injury, has not played in this series, so Ross back behind home plate.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Montero put on the disabled list for the Cubs, and likewise Scooter Gennett for the Milwaukee Brewers, both on the 15-day DL. As we are set for baseball as Jonathan Villar, second time this season he has been in the leadoff spot, and we are underway in Chicago as Arrieta misses with a mid-90s fastball. Villar hits all over the lineup, and he was hitless on Monday, and that stopped a streak he had reached safely in 11 straight games. And still, he has reached in 16 of the 18 games he has played.
Yep, has been very good, and regardless of where Craig Counsell puts him in the lineup, in that leadoff spot today, it will be interesting to see the effect 7 days rest has on Jake Arrieta. Pitches are very routine oriented. 7 days as opposed to pitching on his 5th day, and you know, sometimes you lose your command a little bit.
In a blustery day, it should favor the pitcher, but as Rock said, the extra time between starts, we'll see how it affects him. As the early going, the velocity is just fine as Villar swings and misses through a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, Arrieta has all 4 pitches: fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. He's been throwing a lot of fastballs early in the season this year.
2-2 pitch to Villar, a broken bat, and that's going to drop into left field. A base hit, a big turn for Villar as the throw gets away, but backing up is Rizzo, so it's a single for Jonathan Villar to begin the game.
Yeah, moans and groans, the folks here at Wrigley thinking maybe a back-to-back no-hitter for Arrieta. Forget about that. The bat blows up off the end of the bat. A good job by Villar to just dump it out into left field. With the way this guy is, Arrieta, I mean, every time he steps out there in the mound, you figure he might be able to do it. Villar stays right on it, pitch off the plate. You see the bat splinters down the middle and dies happy with a base hit.
You're right, though. The drama ends. Johnny Vandermeer is still safe. The back-to-back no-nos in the late 1930s. Here is Alex Presley hitting his second start with the Brewers.
That's what makes throwing no-hitters so difficult, isn't it? I mean, he blows the bat up right off the end of the bat, dumps it in the outfield. I mean, wasn't hit well. It was a good approach, but that's what makes throwing a no-hitter so special.
And he did just that without requiring much in the way of spectacular plays defensively against the Reds, as Villar is running as Presley fouls it out of play. It was interesting, the perspectives after the outing last Thursday at Great American Ballpark. Some of the Reds players, including Jay Bruce, were saying it was as dominating as stuff as he's ever seen. And from the Cubs perspective, it's like, yeah, he was all right. You know, he's been better. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but throw a no-hitter in that ballpark, that's pretty special.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is a bandbox. I mean, you don't have to hit him all that hard to hit him out.
Yeah, 9 regular season starts between no-hitters for Arrieta. August 30th of last year against the Dodgers in LA, and then 1 week ago in Cincinnati. Going back to the midpoint of last season, he has been the ultimate in dominance on the mound.
Yeah, 12-1, not too bad. 12-1 with a .75 earned run average since last year's All-Star game. Enough on that.
Yeah, that is enough.
I mean, you know what that means? He's due. I think he's due. He's due to give up some runs. You know, Brewers take advantage of some mistakes.
Presley with a fly ball to left. And that's Chris Bryant out there, and there's out number 1. And here comes Ryan Braun. Go back to an example of how Arrieta is not always invincible. Early May last year, Ryan Braun takes him over the wall in what turned into a Brewers win.
Is that a sunny day here at Wrigley?
It was. The sun does shine.
Remember that?
Allegedly, yeah. Got here on Monday. It was about 80 degrees early Monday evening, and it's been about 30+ degrees cooler ever since. Yeah, that game where Braun homered, Arrieta lasted but 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 earned runs, including the bomb from Braun. You'll notice from that clip that the bleachers were empty. The renovation wasn't quite done with the outfield bleachers at that early stage of last year.
Yep, everything done now. You got that big scoreboard out and left. But the old classic scoreboard in center field, they're never going to get rid of that. I hope they don't.
I love that old school look. 0-1 to Ryan Braun. Jonathan Villar led off the game with a broken bat single.
And one thing you might see from the Brewers, you know, you get on base, maybe put the pressure on Arrieta and the Cubs defense. Saw Villar take off early in the at bat with Presley up there, not so much with Braun. You've got that home run threat.
Greg Counsell talking about the eagerness that any athlete would have to want to face the challenge of going up against Arrieta today. Braun fouls it back. 1-2 the count to the Brewers left fielder. Coming in off the bench, pinch hitting role on Monday night. Delivering a double. He has hit safely in 8 straight games.
Well, he's had 3 consecutive days off, including the team day off on Monday. He's always done very well after days off.
He's a career .358 hitter in this ballpark that covers 59 games. With 9 home runs, and again, homers are going to be a challenge today to cut through the wind. Villar, a good lead off first. He's running. The pitch is taken. The throw down to second, not in time.
Yep, good jump by Villar and a good throw by David Ross. Just a little bit late. Not much more he can do about that. That was a good throw. But Villar, you know, looked like he wanted to run and able to just beat it out there at second base. Not by much, but man, in scoring position for Milwaukee.
That is another statistic that, as Greg Counsell talking about before the game, how dialed in and the kind of start that Braun has had. Runners in scoring position. Braun is 9 for 15 so far this season. And a good take there as he runs the count full. I guess what you're talking about after a day away. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And this year you're going to see some days off for Ryan Braun. And 48 home runs and 141 RBIs, good at batting average. Yeah, so the day off really pays dividends for Braun.
Arrieta with the 3-2, and Braun draws a walk. So the Brewers with a little something going here against Jake Arrieta, who through his first 4 starts has given up runs just once. That's it.
Yeah, and that was at Arizona. This is only his 2nd home start this year. 3 on the road. He made 1 start against Colorado here, a 6-2 victory, went 8 innings.
Here's Jonathan Lucroy. His hitting streak was snapped at 8 games on Monday night. Started the year with a 7-game hitting streak and just concluded an 8-game run. Brewers on Monday managing but 4 hits, but it was still a very competitive game on a very cold night here in Chicago. A 4-3 ball game. Jimmy Nelson and Kyle Hendricks were the starters. Addison Russell a big 2-run triple, but the Brewers rallied on the Braun pinch 2-run double in the 8th. But not quite able to catch the Cubbies as they took the opener, and then rained out last night and we're here and playing this afternoon. 1-0 pitch to Lucroy. VR is running. Throw to third. And he's in there. Well, the Brewers with the running game going. VR to third, Braun to second.
Yep, get the track shoes on, put the pressure on, and you got the right guys out there on the bases. VR very fast. Ryan Braun making sure that VR went to third. He got a late break, but able to get into second safely, eliminating a double play possibility. A bad throw by Ross. If he throws it on the other side of the bag, it might be an out, but it wasn't. That was a nice play by La Stella to keep it in the infield.
Big chance for the Brewers in the first. Runners at second and third for Jonathan Lucroy.
Now just got to make sure you maintain contact with the bag. He is definitely safe, and third base umpire Larry Vanover making sure he keeps that hand on the bag.
Jonathan Lucroy represents the 10th man this season to hit against Arrieta with runners in scoring position. See if Jonathan can take advantage as Arrieta struggling to find the strike zone right now. 3-1.
Maybe those extra 2 days. Pitchers are very routine oriented, very regimented, and actually Arrieta was campaigning to make a start here on Tuesday. He wanted to stay on his regular day's rest. Here we are on Thursday and showing signs of some rust.
Hitters count for Lucroy. VR the runner at third, Braun at second. And the bases are loaded. So Jake Arrieta here in this first inning. His first 4 starts, walked 6 hitters. He has walked 2 here in the first inning. And the bases are loaded for the first baseman, Chris Carter. Good batting average. The on-base percentage for Carter at .368. 19 hits and 14 of them have gone for extra bases. Big chance for the Brewers against Arrieta in the first. And Arrieta misses again.
Just trying to find the corners, just can't do it. And the Brewers have proven this year that they're going to be patient at the plate. And so far so good, not swinging out of the strike zone.
And a quick trip to the mound is David Ross. Conversation with Jake Arrieta. 0.87 earned run average. 4-0 record, but in trouble here in the first as the Brewers have him loaded with 1 out. The 1-0 to Carter.
And that cut fastball, an equalizer for Arrieta. Call it a cutter, slider, whatever you want, but it's a good pitch, particularly when he's behind in the count.
One pitch.
It's just subtle movement going away from the right-handed hitter. You can see the fingers on the side of the baseball, and just a little movement as it gets to home plate.
Two balls, one strike to Carter. Good cut and a foul. This already 23 pitches for Arrieta in this first inning, and that's the most he has had in any one inning this season, this being his 5th start. Villar led off with a single to left. Presley a fly to left, and then walks to Braun and Lucroy. And Carter strikes out swinging. Two men out here in the first.
Yeah, that strikeout ability for Arrieta. That's the 27th strikeout for Arrieta this year on a four-seamer. In on Carter, probably looking away. Tied him up on the inside corner. Started right down the middle and ended up right on the inside corner. Good movement.
Bases remain loaded as Arrieta will face Kirk Neuenhuis. Neuenhuis swinging a good bat as he is in the lineup once again, his 4th straight start. He has had 2 hits in each of his last 2 games. Monday here in Chicago and Sunday afternoon against the Phillies. Tardy on that fastball. 1-1.
Man, it's been all fastballs and cutters for Arrieta in this inning. That's pretty much what he's been doing this year. A lot of hard stuff in the early going this year.
Big opportunity for the Brewers. See if Neuenhuis can drive in at least one, hopefully a couple. But he's behind a ball, 2 strikes. .48 2/3 straight scoreless innings in this ballpark for Arrieta. Can the Brewers snap it here in the first inning? Good block by Ross.
Yeah, first curveball. Good spot for it. Good job by David Ross, who's made a living doing that. Tremendous defensive catcher. Yep, getting down on the knees, making sure you stay square, and that's exactly what he did.
Two balls, 2 strikes to the Brewers center fielder with the bases loaded in the opening inning. And the count is full. The Brewers have made him work in this first inning. He'll need at least 30 pitches. Runners will be on the move. Payoff pitch. We'll do it again.
A good pitch to hit right there for Neuenhuis. Well, outer half, very hittable, but that late movement for Arrieta, it just gets you off the sweet spot.
You mentioned it's been the most innings that Arrieta has needed to get through an inning this season. This is the most he's needed to get through a first inning in 6 years. See if the Brewers can make him pay for it here. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. Had him loaded with 1 out, but Arrieta gets back-to-back strikeouts of Carter and Neuenhuis. Cubs coming up. Brewers had him loaded with one out, but Carter and Neuenhuis punch-out victims from Jake Arrieta. So the Cubs now come to the plate in the bottom of the first. Joe Maddon in his second season has his team off to the best start the Cubs have had since 1907. Here's the Cubs batting order presented by Potawatomi. Dexter Fowler back at the top of the lineup. Jason Hayward, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo hits cleanup. Ben Zobrist batting fifth, followed by Tommy La Stella. Bottom of the order, Addison Russell, David Ross, and Jake Arrieta. Against the Brewers, Taylor Youngman.
Yeah, pitch count issues have been an issue for Taylor Youngman so far. You see the 10 walks, only 11 strikeouts in 17 innings. You can see that earned run average. Not nearly what Taylor Youngman would like it to be. Picked up a loss his last time out against the Twins at Miller Park. Only 4 innings. It took 88 pitches to get through 4 innings. 4 hits, 3 runs for Youngman.
Facing one of the best hitters in the National League to lead things off in Dexter Fowler. And when hitless on Monday, did have a sacrifice fly. But that batting average of .368 is 5th best in the National League. And this is a little bloop, and it's going to drop into center. A base hit for Fowler.
Well, let's check out the Menards Brewers defense here this afternoon at Wrigley Field. Braun, Neuenhuis, and Presley. Domingo Santana not in the lineup here today, so Presley in right. Hill, VR, Rivera, and Carter. Scooter Gennett placed on the disabled list, before the game. So Yadiel Rivera gets another start at second base, and Jonathan Lucroy, as usual, behind home plate.
Calling balls and strikes today is Alfonso Marquez. Chris Guccione over at first. David Rackley at second. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, over at third here today. Here's Jason Hayward. Going after the first pitch and fouling it straight back. Hayward, of course, signing the big deal in the offseason from the St. Louis Cardinals. He had a 5-game hitting streak that was stopped on Monday, went 0 for 5. Both teams getting their leadoff man aboard in this first inning. Jonathan VR with a broken bat single off of Jake Arrieta to end any thoughts of a back-to-back no-hitter from Arrieta. But the Brewers left him loaded in the top of the first. Couple of walks to Braun and Lucroy, but Arrieta able to get out of trouble. And Hayward pops this up, and Lucroy will have a play, and there's out number 1.
Yeah, good pitch by Taylor Youngman. A natural cut when he's going well. A lot of his pitches have been relatively flat. We heard, before the game today that he was actually tinkering out there in the mound during the game against the Twins. You're battling yourself when you're trying new things during the game. Good cutter. Gets in on the hands of Hayward, and that's an easy out to Lucroy. He's got that natural cut. He'll sink it, and that good curveball. Curveball's been relatively inconsistent this year.
Trying to somehow, some way get back to that form he had when he was first called up, where he was turning in some terrific outings.
Nothing but confidence back in those days. I mean, I think he's got to be struggling with his confidence a little bit out there in the mound right now. It's only natural.
And he just hit Chris Bryant. So the Cubs with runners at first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, you have a struggling pitcher out there, and then what you'd like to see is something, a relatively quick, successful first inning. But yeah, that pitch, no chance for Bryant to get out of the way. Right on the back of the arm. But he's got a pad back there. Does it hit the pad? Got some of it.
Yeah. Seems like he's all right. Here's Anthony Rizzo. A very productive month in terms of run production, as you see the 8 homers. among the National League leaders and a 22 RBI month. That is the most that Rizzo has had in any calendar month in his career. So if you're Rizzo, if you're Joe Madden for that matter, that 205 average you assume is going to go up, and in the meantime he's still driving in a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. No, base percentage is good, almost 360.
He's drawn 14 walks. This is a Cubs team that, much like the Brewers, are very good in that area. In fact, the Cubs are a little better. Drawn the most walks in the National League.
Yeah, there's not too many weak spots in this Cubs ball club. I mean, you talk about, starting pitching's been extremely good. Bullpen's been good. And solid defense. There's not a whole lot of glaring weaknesses on this club, at least in the early going. They do have some injury issues, though. I mean, they're starting to mount up. Schwarber out for the year. Montero on the DL.
Yeah, they have called up Tim Fedorovich from AAA. We mentioned the Brewers with Scooter Gennett on the 15-day DL with oblique tightness. Hernan Perez now with the ball club. And Matt Garza has been moved to the 60-day disabled list. It's tough for Gennett. He was off to a pretty good start here this month, showing some power, showing much improved patience at the plate. But the belief, the hope, and more importantly the belief is this is not going to be a long-term issue with Gennett. Obliques can be, but they seem a little more on the optimistic side with Gennett.
And he did it in batting practice here on Tuesday. Kind of came up a little bit tight. They pulled him from the lineup, sent him back to Milwaukee, and now he's been put on the disabled list. Unfortunate.
2-1 pitch to Rizzo. Youngman missing upstairs. Talked about a chance for Taylor to get some confidence back. Certainly the opportunity is there, but if it isn't, this Cubs team will make you pay a heavy price. Runners at first and second for the cleanup hitter. Ben Zobrist is on deck. And like Arrieta, Youngman now will have the bases loaded against him with one out.
Yeah, but the big difference between the two, I mean, Youngman does not have that strikeout ability as he did last year. Arrieta able to get himself out of a mess with back-to-back strikeouts.
So up against it here in the first inning is Taylor Youngman as Ben Zobrist steps in. He walked a couple of times on Monday night, takes a strike. So both teams with an opportunity in the first. Brewers came up empty. Youngman with his work cut out for him to keep the Cubs off the board. And that's a nice stab by Lucroy on a pitch way away.
Yeah, not even close. And that was a fastball, too. And we talked about, how difficult sometimes it can be for your breaking pitches and, location when the weather is cold. It's not as cold today as it was on Tuesday. Wind not blowing as hard. He's missed badly on a couple of occasions.
A ball is strike to the Cubs second baseman. Talked about Zobrist, his ability to draw walks, 16 of them so far, including at least one in each of his last 6 games. You see his numbers with the bases loaded. This is popped up in foul territory, and there will be no play, or will there? Hill reaching over and unable to make the catch. Tough chance for the third baseman. And a lean over the railing of the Cubs dugout.
And that wind was pushing the ball into the seats over the Cubs dugout, and Hill got there. I think he realized where he was. You could see him grab the railing and just off the end of the glove. Pretty close. Good effort by Hill over there at third base.
ruled a no play. Very tough chance there for Aaron. 2 balls, 1 strike. Or make that 2 balls, 2 strikes. As there's a ground ball past the diving Rivera. And it will score 1. Throw to the plate. Not in time as Bryant is in. And the Cubs take a 2-0 lead. 2-run single for Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, the Cubs have been deadly with the bases loaded this year. It's been incredible to watch. And it seems like they're getting hits, driving in runs every opportunity. That's what good offenses do. And well, they were on a 2-strike pitch. Ben Zobrist just out of the reach of Rivera at second base.
Cubs hitters are now 12 for 27 with the bases loaded this season. There's Tommy La Stella in the lineup today, playing third. He drew a walk in a pinch hitting role on Monday, did La Stella. Talking about a Monday night, a player Joe Maddon is very high on, refers to him as 3 a.m. Take a look at that batting average. He can get up at 3 in the morning and get you a base hit. That's a different nickname.
I tell you, it's great. I mean, that's what Joe Maddon does. He comes up with some pretty unique ways of saying things and doing things, for that matter.
Pushing all the right buttons.
That's a pretty good nickname. You know, your manager says you're that good a hitter.
Yeah, you're thinking it might mean something else, but nope, it's strictly a compliment in his ability to come off the bench, start whenever. La Stella will get you a base hit. It's hopefully not here as he pops this one up. Chance for Aaron Hill in foul territory. And there are 2 men out.
Yeah, a couple of pop-ups in the inning, both coming on that cut fastball. That late movement going in and jamming Jason Hayward and now La Stella. Easy pop-ups in foul territory. In on his hands, and this time Aaron Hill able to make a play on it.
Two outs with runners at the corners for Addison Russell. He had a huge 2-run triple on Monday night. There's a curve that's in there. Twelve RBIs for Russell. 10 of those coming in the last 12 ball games, including 2 on Monday. And here's a chance for VR. Play at first, and the inning is over. But the Cubs get on the board. We are through 1 at Wrigley Field.
At Wrigley Field, Jake Arrieta and the Cubs out to a 2-0 lead, and while there will be no hitter for Jake Arrieta here today, he is on a historic run right now. You see the lowest ERA over a 20-start span. Bob Gibson did it in 1968, a .79 earned run average from June through September. Jake Arrieta, he's not doing too bad himself. He's got a .79 as well going back to July of last year, and manager Craig Counsell said, look, as a big leaguer, this is the kind of challenge that you want. He said you want to face the elite pitchers in the game. You want to take it as a challenge, as a hitter at the plate. And he said these are the fun games. These are the games that are worth playing this game. And he says you always want to go against the best. Arrieta certainly deserves credit for the run that he is on, the way he prepares, how locked in and consistent he's been with 24 straight consecutive quality starts.
That's right, Sophia. Only Bob Gibson, since they've been tracking that quality start stat, ground ball off the bat of Hill. That's Zobrist. And there's out number one. There you go back to the 19 teens when they started tracking quality starts. Bob Gibson had a run of 26 straight. And for those wondering, yeah, this is what Bob Gibson looked like.
Yeah.
And that's what hitters look like against him a lot.
Yeah, fastball slider for Bob Gibson. Incredible stuff. A 1.12 earned run average 1 year. What was that, 67?
Yeah.
Incredible stuff. And Arrieta right there with him, the way he's been throwing the baseball. You got to, give a little bit of credit. I mean, maybe a lot of credit to Chris Bosio, the Cubs pitching coach. He came over here, did Arrieta a few years ago. I think the Orioles tried to change his delivery a little bit. You can see a little bit of a crossfire delivery for Arrieta. Orioles really didn't like that too much. They wanted to be more over the top. Cubs said, come on over here, throw the way you want, and look what's happened. Come over here 2 years ago, 10-5. Last year, 22-6. And Chris Bosio deserves a lot of credit for that.
Former Brewer turning in great work here for the Cubs. Back-to-back ground balls to Ben Zobrist here for the Brewers in the top half of the second. Here's Taylor Youngman. Yeah, it's a trade that seems to be working out for the Cubs. July of 2013. Came over from Baltimore along with Pedro Strop for Steve Clevenger and Scott Feldman. And there you see, and this just backs up your point, Rock. They let Arrieta do his thing, and you see the results.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to let guys, do what it comes naturally to them. I mean, the Brewers did that with Carlos Gomez. Had a couple of organizations try and tell him you need to chop at the baseball and run. Brewers said, go ahead, swing the way you want. Ended up being an all-star. So, yeah. Sometimes you can't overcoach, right?
Exactly. Strike three called. Strikeout number 3 for Arrieta. Through an inning and 1/2. 2-0 Chicago. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by T-Mobile. Get major league coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE since 2015. And by Hupy and Abraham, 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business.
Hey, it's Robin Yount bobblehead day at Miller Park this Sunday afternoon as the Brewers host the Marlins, and all fans get a Ryan Braun home run leader bobblehead courtesy of U.S. Cellular. Go to Brewers.com for details.
Look forward to coming back home tomorrow night. Look forward to Ryan Braun bobblehead day.
Short 3 days on the road and
Yes,
right
sir.
back home again. Yep. Don't have to worry about the cold at Miller Park.
No worries at all. David Ross leading off and taking a curveball for strike two. At mid 40s or upper 40s here in Chicago right now, but you were mentioning it a little while ago. It did feel warmer down on the field. It's all relative. And the wind's still kicking into the face of the hitters, but not as much as it was on Monday. But yeah, it actually didn't feel all that bad.
No.
For us.
Brewers took batting practice on the field before the game today. Cubs did not, which is not unusual for a Joe Madden baseball team. There were stretches last year where they didn't take batting practice on the field for 4 or 5 days in a row.
No zoo animals here, at least for this series.
No.
But there's a lot of season left.
What's he got up his sleeve this year?
It's our heady times in Chicago. The White Sox off to a great start. NFL draft here in town.
Yeah.
Starting tonight.
And people fired up around town about that NFL draft.
Always. Ross swings and lifts one deep to left field. And that is out of here. And that's going to bounce on to Waveland. 3-0 Cubs.
And it looks like David Ross is going to get a fair amount of playing time with Miguel Montero on the disabled list. And he put a charge into that one in left field. A no-doubter. Went blowing in from right. Didn't get that one away, and David Ross hits it about as hard as he can, and just about over everything here at Wrigley Field. Yep.
Answers the question about the wind being able to hold it back, but that one might have had a decent chance on Monday. Here's Arrieta.
Who can swing the bat himself? There's no certain out at home plate.
Yeah, check out those numbers. And in about 238 over his last 4 quality starts. So he's getting on base. He just isn't letting anybody else get on base. And Youngman behind 3-0. So the struggles continuing here for Taylor Youngman. Gave up a couple of runs in the first and a David Ross homer here to begin the second inning.
And the pitcher swinging 3-0.
Yeah.
Cubs are feeling good, aren't they?
It's about as obvious a sign as you could have about the level of confidence with this team and the man at the plate. And the count is now full.
I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher swing 3-0. This might have happened before, but maybe Gallardo or somebody like that.
To say he is locked in, it's a cliche, but in the case of Arrieta, it's an understatement. There's a fly ball to right. Alex Presley with room, and there's out number 1. He was getting his hacks against Youngman. Taylor able to retire him. Now he'll face the top of the order and Dexter Fowler. Man who everybody thought was leaving Chicago after turning down the club's qualifying offer in the offseason. A lot of talk that he was going to work out a deal with the Orioles, which did not happen. Reports premature, and back with the Cubs. That center field role, and allows Jason Hayward to play his natural position in right field. When they had first signed Hayward, the thought was he may need to play center, but that is not the case.
And one of the toughest things to find in a big league lineup, a consistent leadoff hitter that's going to get on base. On base percentage near 500 for Fowler. 494. Incredible. Good start for him.
Yeah, the Brewers are going to see another player who's at the top in terms of on base percentage, Christian Yelich, when the Marlins come to town. They're wrapping up the series in LA this afternoon. Three balls, one strike to Fowler. Hit a career high 17 homers a year ago. Fowler with a fly ball to center, and it's a long run for Neuenhuis, but he makes the play.
Yeah, Wynn pushing that one toward the foul line, and he had to get on his horse and make the catch. Yeah, wind blowing straight in from right field, pushing the baseball toward the left field line. Fowler gets jammed, and Neuenhuis thought it was going to be relatively routine. Then he had to get going to catch it.
Bundled up once again. Another chilly day here in Wrigley. Jason Hayward popped out to the catcher in the first. Cubs have gone to work here in these opening innings. Couple on the board in inning number one. One more here in the second.
Youngman's still trying to figure out that curveball, get that pitch to be consistent for him like it was, last year. He's thrown one good one in this game. There's another one that kind of hangs up there. Just been a mystery for him. Hasn't been able to, throw that for strikes, good quality strikes, and when he does, I mean, that's his strikeout pitch. That's what he gets to swing and miss.
From some of the really good hitters in the game. Runs the count full. Pitch count getting up there. A lot of 3-ball counts, including this with Jason Hayward. 3-2 pitch. In the air to center. Routine for Neuenhuis. Routine, relatively speaking, the way the wind's blowing around. Leadoff homer, and it's a 3-0 game, Chicago. For the third, David Ross launching one over the bleachers and left in the bottom half of the second. Time now for our Carsoup.com trivia question. Who are the only Cy Young winners to throw a no-hitter in the following season?
Good one.
Became a topic about a week ago. The Cy Young Award winners to throw a no-no in the following season.
Is that in the notes today?
I believe you could dig those up.
In the notes.
I thought I saw those in the notes. In fact, I am very confident I saw those in the notes. Jonathan VR leading off the third inning. We'll let you all figure that out if that was in the Brewers notes or the Cubs notes. I'm thinking you could probably make an assumption there.
Yeah, right.
VR took away any thoughts that fans in Chicago had of a Johnny Vandermeer being pulled by Arrieta. No back-to-back as VR led off the game with a broken bat single to left.
I thought I saw some folks heading to the exits after that base hit.
They did. They said, you know what? No history today.
It's cold.
I'm out.
Yep. Got the blanket.
And VR draws a walk, so he continues to be very productive at getting on base. Came in at .347 on base percentage, and that's the third walk given up by Arrieta.
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of confidence. Is Jonathan VR, both at the plate and out at shortstop. He's played a tremendous shortstop. He's shown some good speed. I think he would certainly be one of the biggest surprises for the Brewers so far. We're only a month in, but he's off to a good start.
Here's Alex Presley getting his second start, his fifth appearance with the Brewers. He's called up last week from AAA Colorado Springs, where he was off to a very good start for the Sky Sox, hitting better than .340 in AAA. Had a pinch homer on Sunday off Hector Neris, the third pinch hit home run of his career. A few years back, he had a 10-homer season for the Pirates. Let's go back to Sunday. Powerball home run count. #1 for Alex Presley as a Brewer.
He got a split-fingered fastball up in the strike zone, knocked it out of the ballpark. Making a good impression in front of the home crowd.
Good first week for him as a Brewer. Keeping a close eye on VR. He had a couple of stolen bases in that first inning, swiping second and third.
Yeah, good thing he was diving back to the outfield side of the bag, or he'd have been out. Just missed the tag. Had he got him on the arm, I think he would have been out right there. He missed the tag initially. Grabbing the outfield side of that bag at first.
Two-strike pitch to Presley. Lifted to shallow center field. That's Fowler. And there's out #1. Saw VR do a good job of avoiding the tag. It was great work on Monday. Javier Baez, who upon further review did steal second. Jonathan Lucroy had a great throw down to VR covering, but Baez was able to use what in essence was a swim move to get his left arm out of the way and make contact with the bag with the right hand, and call on the field was he was out, but the video overturned it.
Yeah, Lucroy's throw beat him there by about 3 feet. A nice head first slide, avoided the tag of VR, and that was a pretty big point in the ball game right there. That turned things around. Cubs ended up scoring a run. Ended up winning by 1.
A high throw, but Rizzo was able to control. Brewers had him loaded with 1 out in the first inning on a VR single and walks to Braun and Lucroy, but Arrieta able to get consecutive strikeouts. He's now gone 51 straight innings at home without giving up a run.
Brony hitting .400 career against Jake Arrieta. Brewers are actually 4-3 in his career, against Arrieta in 9 starts. Of course, a lot of that came early on.
Arrieta 2-1 against the Crew last year. The Brewers win coming here on May 2nd. Braun took Arrieta deep in that game. And Braun, period, just likes playing the Cubs. 23 homers in his career against today's opponent.
Yeah. Well, you face them a lot. I guess you'd see a lot of them. You get to know their pitching.
There's a sharp grounder to Zobrist. Flips to Addison. Russell for 1 and on to first for an inning-ending double play. 4-6-3. Till the bottom of the third. 3-0 Cubs. Wrigley Field. Hey, on Saturday, Premier Boxing Champions bring you the long-awaited rematch of the 2011 Fight of the Year as Victor Ortiz and Andre Berto add another chapter to one of the most intense fights of the decade. All starts Saturday, 7 p.m. Central, only on Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Cubs. That's who Youngman will be dealing with, and it begins with Chris Bryant. Hit by a pitch. First inning, the Cubs able to load him up and pushed a couple of runs across as a curve has Bryant out in front. Can he get that back? That's the question here with Youngman. Consistent productivity with that curveball.
It all comes down to his delivery, right? A repeatable delivery. And when you look at the way he throws the baseball, it's a very complex delivery, a little unorthodox, the way he slings it from the side. And sometimes when you're out of sync and you're a little bit off, I mean, that is why he's been very inconsistent in the strike zone. And it's really affected his curveball more than anything.
One and two the count on last year's National League Rookie of the Year. .280 batting average and a .352 on base percentage coming in for Kris Bryant. Said it before, but when Youngman is on with that curve, he can make the really good hitters chase. Distinctly remember he had Paul Goldschmidt waving at a pitch in the dirt. Bryant goes after this one and sends it into right center field, a base hit. Neuenhuis able to cut it off, and it's a long single for Bryant.
Yeah, but that's the one right there that he's been struggling with, leaving it up in the zone or bouncing it in front of home plate. And when he doesn't have that pitch in his back pocket or able to throw it where he wants it, that's when he gets himself in real trouble. That's a hanger, and Kris Bryant just serves it out there into right center. Those hanging breaking balls, the hitters love them, and Bryant hits it hard out into the gap.
So the Cubs get the leadoff man on again. Here's Anthony Rizzo. He walked in the first. Fowler with a single to center in the first. The David Ross homer to begin the second, and now Bryant with a single to right center in inning number 3.
Yeah, it makes your job out there in the mound much more difficult when you can't get that leadoff hitter. Cubs had their leadoff hitter on a lot on Tuesday night.
Rizzo comes in with a little better than a .300 career batting average against the Brewers. Right up there amongst the leaders in home runs. Bryce Harper with 9. Trevor Story, it is 9th for the Rockies. That's a National League record for a rookie in the opening month. The big league record set a couple of years ago by Jose Abreu with the White Sox. Bryant's right up there among the best here in this first month. Or Rizzo among the best. Bryant the runner at first. And there you see the RBI count. Nolan Arenado right in there. And
Arenado with a home run yesterday, number 9. He and Trevor Story, the rookie for Colorado, both with 9 home runs to start the year.
3-1 pitch. Rizzo turns on it, and that's a fair ball. Rolling near the corner in right field. Rounding third is Bryant. He will score. And it's a 4-0 game. RBI double for Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, you feel as though you can come inside on Anthony Rizzo as close as he is to home plate, but he's there for a reason. He likes the baseball in on him. He can turn on it, not only hit it hard, but he's able to keep it fair the way he pops those hips open. Presley had a long way to go. He was shaded around toward left center, and by the time he gets to it, Bryant able to score. Right on top of home plate, the cutter over the heart of the plate. And Rizzo turns on it. See that belt buckle facing the pitcher? That's the way you open up those hips. That leads the barrel of the bat through the strike zone.
Well, the Cubs have scored in each of the first 3 innings. Getting a leadoff man aboard in each of those frames, and that's extending a run that they have in that department. They've done it in 7 straight innings. You go back to Monday night. And Zobrist a 2-run single in the first. So the very last thing you want to do is get behind early against Jake Arrieta, but unfortunately that is exactly what has happened to the Brewers here this afternoon. Zobrist, of course, coming over from the Royals, is already some bullpen activity for the Crew. Is Chris Capuano ready to get loose? Zobrist with a liner that's knocked down by Carter. He'll have to feed Youngman for the out as Rizzo holds at second. And there is out number one.
That ball hit like a bullet, and it's a good thing that Taylor Youngman didn't give up on it. He started, stopped, and still was able to get there before Ben Zobrist. A rocket. Another pitch out over the plate that the Cubs are able to get the big part of the bat on, and Taylor Youngman able to get there for the out right off the thumb of the glove. Knocks it down and still able to get the out. I think that ball had a little bit of sink to it.
Yeah, it did. Stayed calm though, did Chris Carter. There's Tommy La Stella.
Have you ever seen him worked up?
No.
Or
I'm not sure I'd want to either.
Panic? Yeah, right. That's a good point. He always seems to be calm until he gets in that batter's box. Bat does his talking for him.
Stella fouls it down the line. Foul pop to third was the first trip for La Stella. Had a big 3-hit day on Sunday in Cincinnati. Series with the Cubs won 3 of 4. Scored 38 runs in the process. There's a fly ball to left. Ryan Braun on the run, and he'll have to play it off the wall. Rizzo's going to score. It's a double for La Stella, and it's a 5-0 lead for the Cubs.
Well, 5 runs for Jake Arrieta is a pretty comfortable lead for Chicago. And a couple of runs is even difficult off of Arrieta, and Stella able to take this one to the opposite field. It's a nice short stroke, relaxed, not over swinging, and able to get that line drive over Braun's head. And Rizzo scores easily from second base. He's not able to get the baseball in, and really struggling with the curveball. The 2 issues for Taylor Youngman.
Capuano heating up.
As Chris Capuano is pretty much ready to go.
Things started to turn for Taylor Youngman. His second start in September. His first start of the month against the Pirates, he was good. 6 innings, gave up just a run. But then the next outing against the Marlins on September 8th, he went 3 2/3, 6 hits or 7 hits, 6 runs, and from that point on, there was nothing that was easy for him. And unfortunately, that is extended here through these first handful of starts in 2015.
Yeah, initially I thought it was just September baseball, those extra starts that major leaguers get that minor leaguers, don't get, because the minor league season ends at the end of August. But the struggles have continued into April.
Russell grounded to short to end that 2-run first inning for the Cubs. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 more here in the third. And La Stella, the runner at second. Here's a better look at what we were talking about, what the start that Taylor got off to. And check out the ERA, 2.42. But the last 9, it has just turned in the opposite direction. But he was able to get Russell here, and there's the second out of the inning.
It didn't seem like it was a matter of the opposition getting to him or learning what he's doing. He was just missing with his pitches again, like the curveball inconsistent. It wasn't so much what the opposition, the adjustments they were making. It was just Taylor was not making good pitches in the month of September, and that has, for the most part, continued into April this year.
He'll face David Ross, who homered to left in the second inning. There's a curveball in there. Ross playing his final season in the bigs. He caught Arrieta's no-hitter last Thursday in Cincinnati. It was the first no-hitter that he has caught in what's been a good decade and a half big league career for him. Very highly respected.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. He's always been, considered a very good teammate. He's willing to help, young players, get their feet wet in the major leagues, and a tremendous game caller, good behind home plate.
Knows what a championship team looks like. Part of one with the Red Sox. There's a fly ball to right. Lots of room for Alex Presley, and the inning is over. But the Cubs inflict some more damage on Taylor Youngman, and they now lead 5-0.
Here at Wrigley, not as much room as there used to be with all the big scoreboards around the ballpark. Hey, there's still time to enjoy the ultimate flexibility with the Brewers May Ballpark Pass, which gives you access to all 16 Brewers home games in the month of May with no blackout dates for just $619. Visit brewers.com/ballparkpass to learn more.
Another day in the 40s here in Chicago, but dry.
I guess those scoreboards have diminished some property values over there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, probably a little bit.
Especially that one in right. That's a bummer.
I read there was a little friction in the neighborhood about that.
At one time, that was a good investment. Now, as you get to see, is the back of a scoreboard. Those are still good.
There you go. Seats available today, however.
You ever been up there?
I have not.
I have.
Enjoy it?
I did. Yeah, it's nice. There was a day game here at Wrigley. We were not doing television. It was a while ago, probably 10 years ago, and the Brewers had an event there. The sausages were up there.
Nice.
Anytime there's sausage, I'll be there. That was a good time.
That would be one of those bucket list items, I think, if you're a fan, if you're one of those. And I know a lot of people who do it. They're with their vacation time. They'll go to ballparks across America and
sit up there on the rooftop, watch a game.
Yeah. Lucroy a foul back, 2-2 the count. Jonathan leading off the fourth inning here for the Brewers. Walked in the first, but unfortunately he and two teammates were left stranded. Brewers had a chance to get to Arrieta in the first inning with back-to-back strikeouts. Arrieta continues to keep the Brewers off the board. It's 51 2/3 straight scoreless innings now at Wrigley, going back to last July.
Well, the accolades just never die with Jake Arrieta. I mean, you can go on and talk about how great he's been. It's been a historic run for him. Not too many pitchers in the history of the game have been able to put together a run like the one Jake Arrieta is on right now. Incredible stuff. Cubs have him for one more season.
You never discount the business component to this. And Arrieta's 30 years old, and no big secret that he'd like to get a long-term contract. You can look up the numbers of some pitchers in his category right now. No one's better, but who have those 6-year deals. And it'll be a big business decision that he and first probably this Cubs organization will have to make. It's not something that a fan likes to think about, but it's there. A Cubs fan doesn't want to think about, but it's real.
Yeah, but if you're a Cubs fan and you're in the front office, you got to figure Arrieta's probably going to be a free agent at some point after this deal. So your window to have him this year, next year. So I think the Cubs are pretty comfortable with the team they've been able to put around him or he and John Lester. You know, to make a run. I think anything short of a World Series is going to be a disappointment here in Chicago.
Without a doubt, last year they were clearly a club ahead of schedule. Went through a lot of losing in the building process to get where they are now. Last year had a terrific year. Joe Maddon in his first year in 2015 here in Chicago led his team to the League Championship Series. They were swept away by the Mets. Chris Carter just lost his bat. Flings over the head of Tommy La Stella.
Hey, Chris going over to the on-deck circle, getting some of the glue stick. I need a better grip on that bat, so give me something.
Carter struck out in the first. And still sporting a very nice .292 batting average. Remember, a year ago with the Astros, he hit .199. We continue to say it's still the first month of the season, but it's been a very impressive start for Milwaukee's new first baseman. 0-2 pitch.
And that strikeout with the bases loaded, one of the few times he hadn't been able to come through for at least one RBI with man at third and less than 2 outs. He's done a good job of driving in those runs.
Now 3 sacrifice flies for him this season, getting some productive outs. And striking out for the second time in as many at bats here today. There's out number 1 here in the 4th.
Yeah, they say that Arrieta is, he's tough to pick up the baseball. I mean, hitters will tell you that. His own catcher, David Ross, has said that. He doesn't catch him all that often, and when he does, initially, it's tough for him to pick up the baseball. He's tough to catch because you really can't see the ball out of his hand. And I guess if your catcher is saying that, imagine trying to hit it, right?
Thinking the very same thing as you were explaining that. Good luck. Here's Kirk Neuenhuis. He struck out to end that first inning.
He hides that baseball. He kind of turns his back a little bit, hides the baseball behind his back, and all of a sudden that ball is on you. That baseball, not only is it on you, but you're trying to pick up the spin at the same time to figure out what it is.
One pitch to Neuenhuis. Remember, Arrieta was originally drafted by the Reds in 2004. He did not sign, was in junior college, just out of high school, did not sign, and was in junior college. The Brewers drafted him in '05, remained in school, and it was the Orioles who got him in the 5th round in 2007.
Yep, he's always had a good arm, has just not been able to put it together until a couple of years ago. 2014, a 10-5 record. Last year, a Cy Young Award. And at it again this year.
They beat out the likes of Zach Greinke, Clayton Kershaw. One-two pitch to Neuenhuis. Brewers getting a leadoff walk from Jonathan Lucroy and then a strikeout from Chris Carter. Only hit so far coming from the first batter of the game, Jonathan Villar. Neuenhuis 2 hits on Monday, 2 hits on Sunday against the Phillies. A full count to Neuenhuis. Little tapper. Arrieta. And there's out number 2. Lucroy advancing to second. 2 men out here in the 4th. To revisit our CardSoup.com trivia question, who are the only Cy Young Award winners to throw a no-hitter in the following season? And that's pretty fair company.
Yeah, you think?
Kershaw, Gibson, and Koufax.
Well, at least 2 Hall of Famers there. Maybe another. What do you think, Clayton Kershaw, if he keeps at it?
I would think so.
Yeah, you're right.
I would think so. Well, he gave up a bomb to Giancarlo Stanton a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
We'll see Stanton in the Marlins beginning tomorrow night, Miller Park.
And it was the right field.
Yeah.
Right center, way back.
It's Aaron Hill. You go back to Monday, and he got into one to left field. The Brewers a chance to tie the game. If the conditions were even relatively calm, that would have left the park.
Or if he didn't hit it as high.
Right.
But that's the way Wrigley Field plays. They say Wrigley Field will giveth and taketh away.
And it did just that. And even the sacrifice fly that he had early in the game, that might have had a chance, or at least could have banged off the ivy. But it turned into more of a medium depth fly ball. Brought in the first run of the night for the Brewers.
Now, to say that he's hit into some bad luck this year would be an understatement. He's hit some balls very hard right at defenders, but that's the way the game goes sometimes.
We talked about Braun, who's had some success against Arrieta. So is Aaron Hill. He is 7 for 18 in his career, and not the biggest sample size, but he's been able to reach against him. 1-2 pitch. And that's blocked by Ross. Goes with that curveball. Staking the wrong guy to a 5-0 lead. But early last year he got touched up. 5 runs against the Cardinals, gave up 6 against the Diamondbacks. That is strike 3 called. And the scoreless streak continues for Jake Arrieta. It remains 5-0 Chicago.
out to a 5-0 lead over the Brewers here in the 4th. And for the Brewers' top prospect, shortstop Orlando Arcia, he had his first home run of the season last week, and now they are starting to come in bunches for Arcia. You see here the grand slam for him on Tuesday night. He went 3 for 6, the grand slam, 4 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, and he has hit safely in each of his last 4 games. He's got multiple hits in 3 of those last 4, and he's hit safely in all but 3 of the Sky Sox 17 games. So Arcia off to a great start, as good as advertised for the Brewers.
Yeah, he sure is, Sophia. That was one of the questions, right, Rock? Can he hit?
Well, they want to see him hit AAA pitching, and certainly, you know, you talk about Colorado Springs, it's pretty good hitter's park, but it's only a matter of time before you see that young man up here.
Jake Arrieta leading off the bottom of the 4th.
Just got to see him a little bit. I mean, a couple of innings, you know, late in games, and he's got a lot of confidence in himself, and you have to, you know, to be able to play at a level at the big leagues. You got to have confidence in yourself. You got to, you know that you belong and you can get the job done. And he's got the confidence, but he has it in the right way. He does not real flamboyant. At least we didn't see any of that in spring training.
Brewers have been saying for a while now with Arcia, they want to get him as ready as he can and see what he can do against AAA pitching, as Rock said. And then, you know, the idea is to give him every chance for success when that time comes, whenever that may be. When he comes up, he can stay up with the big club and don't rush it.
Yeah, and you know, he's heard all the things that people are saying about him. He's a can't miss guy. You want him to earn his way up here. Just don't want to hand him a job at the big league level. Make him earn it.
Arrieta with a fly ball hit back into center, but lots of room for Neuenhuis, and there's out number 1. Well, we mentioned what the numbers that Arcia is putting up in AAA, and we've talked about it already a little bit today, but the work that Jonathan Villar has turned in at short. You know, today this middle infield combo of Villar and Yadiel Rivera, 2 really good arms, 2 good athletes. Here's Dexter Fowler, turn to the top of the order here for the Cubs. That, by the way, that fly ball out. It's the first time that Youngman has retired the leadoff man here today. Cubs have scored in each of the first 3 innings. See if Youngman can get through this clean here. He will hit second in the top of the 5th.
They figure this is going to be his last inning.
Yep.
Brewers need runs.
Against the best in the business in Arrieta. Three and 1 to Fowler. Singled to center and hit a fly ball to center. That's his day so far. Pitch number 78 now from Youngman. And that's in there, full count. Strike 3 called. 2 up, 2 down here for the Cubs in the 4th.
Yeah, 2 pretty good pitches, yet they're falling behind 3 and 1. Yeah, cutter that Fowler let go on a 3-1 pitch right down the middle. This is a fastball right on the outside corner. Catching the edge, pitch number 6. Lucroy holds it there nicely, gets the out. First strikeout of the day. Second, you got Russell looking as well.
Here's Jason Hayward. Hayward 0 for 2 and 0 for 7 here in the series. Should mention in some fairness to Youngman, we've talked about the struggles. His first outing was actually not a bad one this season against the Giants. It was a fairly short one. Greg Counsell making the move after 80 pitches, but 5 innings and gave up just 1 earned run against the Giants. But the following 3 were not so good. Of course, the most notable was the game in St. Louis, the Cardinals home opener. But Youngman did give his manager some pretty good work back on April 6th. Just trying somehow, some way to maybe get through this inning and have something to feel good about moving forward. But he walks Hayward, so with 2 men out, the Cubs have a runner aboard.
He just really has not been able to put together that swing and miss stuff like he did last year. You know, the Cubs have only had a swing and a miss once today. That was Chris Bryant his last time up. So, and it comes back down to the curveball. You know, his inability to be consistent with that curveball, throwing it for strikes, getting ahead in the count, and using that curveball down in the zone to get the strikeout.
There's a curveball that gets him ahead of Bryant.
Make that 2 swing and miss.
Bryant was hit by a pitch, scored in the first, singled to right center, and scored in the third. Count is even to Bryant. Back in left field today for the Cubs. A 2-run first, a run in the second, 2 more in the third for Chicago. Youngman, after retiring Arrieta and Fowler, has walked Hayward. And a 2-1 count now to Chris Bryant. And he went. Curveball again.
Chris Guccione giving a ring up down there at first base. I don't know.
Close. Youngman will take it. Now let's see if he can put him away.
Well, last time up, Chris Bryant got a hanging curveball and hit it hard into the gap in right center. He's had a difficult time with that good Youngman curveball in this at bat.
2-2 pitch. Dug out by Lucroy. There's Anthony Rizzo waiting on deck. Off to a good start today. Hayward will be on the move. 3-2 pitch coming, and that got him. It clipped Bryant. That's the second time he's been hit by a pitch. So runners at first and second with 2 men out.
Yeah, that time a curveball, and Chris Capuano is going to start to get loose once again. Well, 2 outs, nobody on, a walk and a hit batter, and Youngman finds himself in a mess again. That curveball spinning, but doesn't do anything, and hits Bryant right below the knee. That's not going to hurt too much.
So the Cubs with another threat. And this time without the benefit of a hit. Hayward was walked. Bryant gets hit on a 3-2 pitch. Here's Anthony Rizzo. He is walked and had a run scoring double in the last inning, and he's out in front of a curve and is down 0-1. Already 90 pitches for Youngman, and we are in the 4th. As Capuano continues to get loose in the Brewers bullpen.
I mean, that's where Youngman was in his last start. 4 innings, 88 pitches, and today I think Craig Counsell would be happy to see him get out of this inning and not have to use Capuano.
A ball, a strike to Rizzo. And the control continuing to be an issue.
Yeah, Youngman's been out of the stretch quite a bit today. A lot of men on base. Over half of his pitches have come with men on base.
There you go. Curveball in there, and that'll even the count. Trying to get his first scoreless inning of the day on what figures to be his last inning of the day. Hayward at second, Bryant at first. 2-2 pitch coming to Rizzo. And yet another full count. The nothing easy theme continuing. Payoff pitch, and now they're loaded. Second walk of the inning to go along with a hit batsman.
No, this isn't time for Counsell. You know Capuano's ready, but problem is, I mean, you bring Capuano in now, you're probably going to have to double switch. You prefer to get Youngman through this inning, pinch hit for him, and then you bring Capuano in for a couple of innings. Looks like he's going to stick with Youngman here.
Well, just as we thought that, it looks like now the double switch is about to happen. Counsell making his way over to Alfonso Marquez. In a 5-0 game when Arrieta is the opposing pitcher, and now the bases are loaded. Counsell is going to have to pull the trigger and bring in Capuano out of the bullpen. So a break in the action here in Wrigley Field. Cubs have them loaded, and they lead by 5. Fourth, a 5-0 lead for the Cubs with 2 men out. A short outing for Taylor Youngman, just 3 2/3, and he's responsible for all 3 Cubs base runners. Double switch here is Hernan Perez, just called up from AAA Colorado Springs. He will come in and play third. He'll bat second for the Brewers in the top half of the 5th inning. And now on the mound is Chris Capuano.
They see his numbers. 9th appearance for Capuano. Last pitched on Friday against the Phillies. An inning of work, gave up a run. He had allowed a solo home run to Michael Franco, and other than that, he's been pretty good. 10 strikeouts in 11 innings, but he has allowed the 3 home runs. The home run bug has bitten him a few times.
And now he walks into a bases loaded situation. Zobrist, a 2-run single in the first. Cubs have them loaded again, and mentioned the statistic. They have really shined in these bases loaded situations this season. 12 for 27, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, including one hit today with the bases loaded, driving in a couple of runs. And it was Ben Zobrist.
Zobrist has fared well against left-handed pitching. Capuano with the 1-0. That is ripped foul. Heads up in the crowd. Everybody's okay, including Bearman. Zobrist signing with the Cubs back in December. Helped the Royals to the World Series title last fall. To that deadline trade with the A's. They'll pot this into the seats. Mentioned that .333 average against lefties. Zobrist 6 for 18. So not a ton of at bats, but he has homered as a right-handed hitter this season.
And Joe Maddon and Zobrist go way back to their days at the Tampa Bay Rays together. Always chatter about Zobrist in the past at the trading deadline. A team in contention, which happened last year.
Great versatility. Swings and sends this in the air, shallow center field. And that's Kirk Neuenhuis, and Capuano gets out of the bases loaded jam. Cubs do not score for the first time today. The Brewers, as Jake Arrieta continues to show why he is the best in the game. Brewers had a chance in the first, but Arrieta getting back-to-back strikeouts of Chris Carter and Kirk Neuenhuis. In fact, he's got Carter a couple of times here today, as well as Aaron Hill, as teams just do not score against this man in this park.
And again, you see those pitches. I mean, very hittable locations. I mean, you're not talking about, pitches at the knees on the corners. It's all about that deceptive delivery. I mean, hitters will tell you it's very difficult to pick his pitches up out of his hand. And he's gotten a lot of mileage out of that delivery. I'm going to check that out. Longest in Wrigley Field history, scoreless inning streak.
Javier Baez now in the game in left field for the Cubbies. Yadiel Rivera. The call to third if you're just joining us. Scooter Gennett placed on the 15-day disabled list with oblique tightness. So Hernan Perez was called up and now is in fact in the game for the Brewers, playing third, and there he is on deck.
A big loss for the Brewers and their offense with Gennett out. He is one of the hotter hitters for the Brewers. I mean, not just swinging the bat, getting hits, but his on-base percentage very good.
And Rivera strikes out swinging. One out here in the fifth. Now we bring Hernan Perez to the plate, and for more on the newest Brewer, let's check in with Sophia Minnaert.
Yeah, Matt, with Scooter Gennett going on the disabled list, Craig Counsell said before the game that would mean more playing time for guys like Yadiel Rivera, Hernan Perez, and Colin Walsh may see some time in the infield as well. And on Perez, he said he'd been playing really well with the Sky Sox. Said he had gravitated towards the middle of the lineup, hitting third or fourth for them. He was swinging the bat really well. And so he gained a lot of confidence during spring training. They know him. He's got good instincts. They're comfortable with him defensively. And more than anything, he said he's aware of his role and he's ready to play here.
He did a good job last year and when he was up with the big club. And let's see what he brings to the table here today and move him forward. He's behind 0-2 to Arrieta right now.
Yeah, once he got going, it took him a while to get going offensively last year, and had a very good right field stroke up there at the plate. A lot of base hits to the right side of the infield, and in that direction, you see it's a natural opposite field swing for Hernan Perez, and yeah, very good defender. You can play him anywhere in that infield, even if it's short.
So your first at bat with the big club this year is against Arrieta. Might as well, right?
Yeah.
See what happens.
Gets easier from there.
Here's the 2-strike pitch. And this will carry into the seats. Just stayed with it. Did Perez, of course, to make room for him. Again, if you missed it, Matt Garza now moved to the 60-day DL.
Yeah, it's going to be a long time for Garza. Things aren't looking good for him.
A ball, 2 strikes to Perez. Again, as part of that double switch. The bottom of the fourth. He replaces Aaron Hill as Capuano came in relief of Taylor Youngman.
That injury to Garza, that's kind of a mystery. You know, he was throwing the ball. He was pitching all of spring. You know, and up until right before opening day, the thought was he was going to make his start. You know, when his turn came up, number 3 starter, but then got scratched, put on a disabled list, and now the 60-day DL. That's not good news.
Yeah, the exhibition game in Houston, right before the Brewers played their game against their Double-A affiliate in Biloxi.
Yeah. Yeah, but you give the starts to some of these young guys, see what you have. Zach Davies is up.
8th pitch of the at bat to Hernan Perez. And a little chopper. That's Russell on the charge. And there's out number 2. Here is the one hitter of the last 41 to get a hit off Jake Arrieta.
Yeah, right. Run for 41.
And he got it to start the game.
And had it not been for that base hit, this game would have a completely different look to it. Because Arrieta right now is he's locked in. We kind of anticipated. I mean, we talked about the fact that he was working on 7 days rest, out of his routine, and he came out a little bit rusty. Didn't look good. Walked a couple, gave up the hit. Brewers had opportunity, but he dialed it up pretty quickly.
He did. You think with a guy like this, you got to get him early, or at least seemingly so. And that's all he's done in the last week. Gave up nothing to the Reds and just one hit to the Brewers here today. But the Crew left him loaded in the first inning. And there's VR with a clean single to left. Second hit for the Brewers. Second hit for Jonathan VR.
Well, with Jake Arrieta out there, a 2-out single's a rally. You don't get many opportunities against this guy. He's only given up runs in 1 of his 5 starts. Good swing, much better contact. He broke his bat going in that direction his first time up to lead off the game. And that cut fastball just didn't do much. Off the outside corner just a little bit up, and VR with another hit.
And VR is on the run. Pitch is taken. That's a stolen base, and easily so for VR, his 3rd of the day. Big lead, big jump, 3rd swipe.
Yep,
for VR.
Do what you can to get in scoring position so a single can score. 3rd stolen base today, 2nd for him. Braun's got the other.
Couple of fly balls from Alex Presley this afternoon. 1 to left, 1 to center. On roster invitee. Had a nice spring training. Called up last week to the big club.
That guy with major league experience. Had some time with the Twins, Pirates.
Minor league player of the year in the Pirates system going back to 2010. And he's behind a ball, 2 strikes to Arrieta. Somebody's got to score against Arrieta sometime. Let's see if Presley can deliver here with VR the runner at 2nd. And that's smoked down the line, and a fair ball down the right field line. VR will score. Presley on his way to 2nd with a run-scoring double.
Well, you make a few mistakes and you pay for them. So VR gets it going with 2 outs. The scoreless streak here at Wrigley Field is over. And the Brewers able to mount a rally with 2 outs and nobody on.
53 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball for Arrieta. And the run stops now.
Yeah, you see the pitch. Nowhere near where David Ross wanted it. It was supposed to be away. Ended up middle in, and Presley able to rip it down the line and skunk out of the box for the Crew against Arrieta.
And now here's Ryan Braun. And a ground ball to Zobrist. And that'll do it for the Brewers in the 5th. But Arrieta can be scored upon, courtesy of Alex Presley.
are on the board thanks to Alex Presley's RBI double. They now trail 5-1. And in our Crew in the Community today, you can join Brewers pitcher Matt Garza and his teammates for the Brewers Bowl-a-thon on Sunday, August 14th. You can enjoy a silent auction and bowling with the Brewers players while raising money for the Maida House, which offers substance abuse treatment services to help women reclaim their lives from the effects of drug or alcohol. You can sign up today and register at www.brewers.com/bowling, or you can call 414-902-4581.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much.
I hear Sophia's a pretty good bowler.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Just an all-around athlete.
How are you? Are you a good bowler?
No.
No.
No. You?
No. I can't bowl. You know, got that elbow issue.
Oh, that right? Yeah. So you had to retire?
Yeah. Left-handed.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, I know. It's created problems, but been able to work through it.
Fight your way through it.
Yep.
Just one day at a time. I understand. Tommy La Stella here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Officially, by the way, the scoreless streak is 52 2/3 for Jake Arrieta. Alex Presley with that run-scoring double. So the first run allowed here at home for Arrieta since last July.
Man, that's something, isn't it? Here at Wrigley Field, we talk about, you know, the wind and, you know, depending on the direction of the wind, it's either a pitcher's park or a hitter's park. And we've seen days with the wind just gusting out, you know, making home runs, you know, kind of abundant. But you know, to put those kind of numbers up here at Wrigley Field, that's incredible stuff.
Capuano finished up the 4th. Back up there to start the 5th. And he has a full count now on Tommy La Stella.
There's some big time activity down in that Cubs bullpen. Throwing like he's coming in.
Yeah, it's Justin Grimm. Looks like. Yep. It's Grimm getting loose.
Arrieta at 92 pitches. I guess maybe if Arrieta's spot comes up, they might pinch hit.
Pitcher spot due up 4th here. It is a very chilly afternoon here again. Capuano with the 3-2. Ooh, look out. And it's ball 4, and he just avoided. I think he avoided getting hit. He's on either way. Well, Chris Bryant was hit by a pitch twice.
Man, one of them a curveball. I mean, certainly nobody's trying to hit anybody here. Capuano up and in. I think La Stella made it look a little bit closer than it actually was. Thinking about that outside corner.
Here's Addison Russell. And a high throw over to Carter, and La Stella will advance. Capuano just sailing one over Chris Carter's glove.
And Cappy with a very good move over to first base. Kind of the step off move with a flip throw, and check it out right there. Just got under it, and Carter not able to grab it, and La Stella now in scoring position at second base on the E1.
First error of the game. And La Stella drew a walk. That made the 4th time in the first 5 innings here that the Cubs have put their leadoff man aboard. Cubs in the first 3 innings, when they did that, scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Left them loaded in the 4th. Couple of walks and a hit batsman. Capuano was able to retire Ben Zobrist. ball and make that no balls, 2 strikes to Russell.
And a slider from Capuano, a good pitch for him, right under the bat, right under the bat of the right-handed batter. You go after that. That's called a back leg slider. Capuano's always had a good one.
Oh, 2 pitch. You mentioned that Capuano has given up some long balls this season, but the resilient one. Tommy John surgeries he's had to deal with in his career. Earned himself a spot on the roster. Non-roster invitee. A lot of trust in what he can bring to the table, what he can bring to this Brewers bullpen, and help keep the Cubs off the board in the 4th. He walked into the game with the bases loaded. Leadoff walk to Tommy La Stella, who now stands at second base. 2-2 pitch. And the count runs full.
Yeah, Chris has had to reinvent himself a number of different times, right? I mean, you always have to, evolve after you have surgeries. He's bounced between the starting rotation and the bullpen, and he's always been able to land on his feet. Yeah, with the Yankees last year and working out of the bullpen for Milwaukee this year.
Payoff pitch, and we'll do it again. Cubs hitters have worked the count to 3 balls on 12 occasions here. That's what more Brewers pitchers have run it up to 3-ball counts 12 times. There's most of that from Taylor Youngman, today's starter, who went 3 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Walked 3, struck out 2, gave up a homer to David Ross. Again, the 3-2. And runners are at first and second. Couple of walks here for the Cubs to start the 5th.
I tried the backdoor breaking ball, missed. Hey, today's time of the game winner, Matty. Trails End Pub and Grill in Ashland. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Trails End.
Trails End. That's a good place to have a tavern.
That's a great place to have a tavern.
Right at the end of the trail.
Absolutely. Great counsel with his pitching coach there, Derek Johnson. There's Pat Murphy, right side of your screen. Trying to find a way to slow down this Cubs offense. Here's David Ross. He is homered to left and hit a fly ball to right.
Well, one way to slow it down is not to be walking batters, that's for sure, especially with the bottom of the order up. Five Brewers walks in the game so far,
including 2 from Capuano here to begin the Cubs half of the 5th inning. Comes the 1-0. In the air, right center field. Neuenhuis has it tracked. And there is out number 1, but tagging is La Stella. He'll get to third, and the Cubs have him at the corners.
Anything hit up in the air, gap to gap, you might as well forget it unless you really get a hold of one. We saw David Ross hit one down the line, but gap to gap, the way that wind's blowing in, it's going to be difficult.
Arrieta's day is done. 5 innings, and he gave up a run.
And his ERA balloons to 1.00.
Yep. Well behind Jason Hamill now.
Arrieta had his control issues, gave up 3 hits, a run, and 4 walks.
And it is notable with Arrieta coming out here in the 5th. You need 6 for a quality start. So the quality start streak stops at 24.
I do believe that the long layoff affected him today.
Jorge Soler gets plunked.
That was a heck of a block by Lucroy.
No, I thought he got hit. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no,
he missed it. Yeah, he jumped out of the way. Lucroy blocked it. And he keeps Listell at third base, but Russell moves into second. That slider way in front of home plate. And Lucroy boxed it, and that's what you call spiking a breaking pitch.
Ooh. Runners at second and third. Infield in. Soler's out in front, 1-1.
Yeah, Brewers shifting with the infield in.
One out here in the fifth. Soler last year had some injury issues. Sprained ankle kept him out about a month. Had an oblique strain that kept him out for about 3 weeks. High strikeout rate a year ago, about 30%. See if Capuano can get one of those right now. 1-2 pitch coming. And again, Lucroy with the block.
Yeah, trying to pull the string on that breaking pitch. That changeup that Capuano has. He's got 2 different changeups. One that cuts in on a right-handed hitter, and another one to go away. So he knows how it's going to move depending on the grip.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And one more time, a full count. Couple of walks here in this 5th inning. One to Listella, one to Addison Russell. Payoff pitch. And Lucroy had to go down and get that. And Capuano has walked the bases loaded here in inning number 5.
Yeah, very unusual for Capuano to be walking batters like this. Usually he does a pretty good job of throwing strikes, but he's all over the place here today. Yeah, so the bottom of the order with 3 walks, and now you set the table for the top.
Dexter Fowler. He began the Cubs half of the first with a single to center. Scored one of the 2 runs the Cubs put on the board in the opening inning. Switch hitting Fowler. And Chris Capuano having a world of trouble finding the strike zone.
Man, not a whole lot of your defense can do to help you. You're not throwing strikes. Cubs aren't going to help you. They're a very patient offense.
One-0 pitch. Fowler, most of his big league career with the Colorado Rockies. He was with the Astros in 2014. Had a good year with Houston at 276. Here Good year with the Cubs last year, a career high 17 homers. And there's a ground ball to short. VR a little trouble getting it out of his glove. They get one, and that's it.
Yeah. Boy, that was tailor-made right there. Just couldn't find a handle, couldn't get it out of his glove, and that'll be a run batted in for Dexter Fowler on a ground ball that should have ended the inning. That hurts. Right there, double clutch, did it again. Tried to get it out of the glove 3 different times, and by that time Dexter Fowler able to beat it at first base. I guess that's what happens when you're not throwing a lot of strikes, right? I mean, the infield is on their heels, and you get one to you, and that was about as room service of double play as you'll see, but Brewers not able to turn it.
So a run is in, and the lead back up to 5 for the Cubs. And now Jason Hayward at the plate. So a run without the benefit of a hit here in the inning for Chicago.
Yeah, 6 walks issued by Brewers pitching, and that's the first one that's scored today.
Yeah.
They've been involved in a lot of the runs. I mean, they've helped, but they have not crossed home plate until Listella just scored.
Yeah, in the last inning, 2 walks, a hit batsman, but the Cubs did not score in a big bases loaded situation where they have shined this season. A ball is strike to the right fielder. Break even pitch. Little chopper is foul. We mentioned Javier Baez coming in to replace Chris Bryant. And the official word from the Cubs is Bryant rolled his right ankle and is being evaluated.
I was kind of curious that he came out, but didn't want to really speculate as to why, but can't imagine where he did it. He got hit by 2 pitches, got a base hit to center. He did score on that Rizzo double in the 3rd inning, but didn't seem to be bothering him too much. Yeah. Apparently that's when he did roll the ankle in that 3rd inning.
You saw Baez on deck. A ball, 2 strikes to Hayward. And a ground ball diving stop by Chris Carter, and he saves a run and ends the inning. Nice play by the big man. We are through 5. It's a 6-1 game, but good work turned in by Chris Carter. Takes a run away from the Cubbies. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. and by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. New pitcher here for the Cubs as Arrieta works the first 5, and now Justin Grimm is on for Chicago.
Yeah, Justin Grimm with a good two-seam fastball. 6 appearances, a 3.00 earned run average. Grimm has more strikeouts in innings pitched this year, so a very short start for Jake Arrieta. A little bit out of sync. You know, the quality start streak is over for Arrieta. Was it 24, right?
24, yeah.
That's a pretty good stretch.
Too short of the mark established by Bob Gibson back in the late 60s. Justin Grimm against Jonathan Lucroy, who smacks a single back up the middle.
Well, let's see if the Brewers can get something done now that Arrieta's out of the ball game. And didn't take long for Lucroy to get in the hit parade. 4th hit for Milwaukee.
Here's Chris Carter, who you see the score at 6-1, but it would have been 7-1 without his diving stop. A hard ground ball off the bat of Jason Hayward with runners at first and third in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, limited range for Carter, but it seems as though when he's able to get to it, he's going to be able to make the plays. He's got good soft hands. He's made a couple of tough plays already this year. He's picked some short hops. And he is glad that Arrieta's out of the game.
Yes, sir. A couple of strikeouts for him, including one with the bases loaded in the first inning. Let's check out the Powerball home run leaderboard. Chris Carter, man at the plate, shares the honors. He has 5. Likewise, Ryan Braun. Scooter Gennett, unfortunately, he's on the DL, but he has 4 homers. And Domingo Santana next up with 2. Of the 19 hits that Carter has in his first year as a Brewer, 14 have gone for extra bases. 9 doubles to go with those 5 home runs. Jonathan Lucroy, the first Brewer not named Jonathan VR to get a base hit here this afternoon, or actually the second. Alex Presley RBI double in the 5th. That ended Jake Arrieta's scoreless streak at home at 52 2/3 innings. Full count now to Carter.
Yeah, Brewers made him work. I mean, high pitch count through 5 innings for Arrieta. And again, a long layoff. I mean, I think that had played a part in his, I guess, quote unquote struggles today.
Struggled, gave up a run.
Yeah. 3 hits, a run. He did walk 4.
Yeah, they may want to think about releasing him. A check swing. Did Carter go? And the answer is yes. There's out number 1.
And one of those days for big Chris Carter. Yep, he went. Yeah, good block by David Ross on the slider in the dirt.
1 out, 1 on in the 6th. There's Kirk Neuenhuis. Quiet so far today after consecutive games of getting 2 hits. Fourth straight start, his 8th start overall this season. Check swing, foul ball. The Mets and the Angels a year ago. Part of that mix of 9 players vying for a spot on the roster. 9 center fielders that they had in spring training. Whittled down, and Neuenhuis part of that group to make the big club. He's had himself a pretty good week. Brewers seeing if they can chip away here off Justin Grimm. 1-1 the count. Grimm originally signed with the, or rather was drafted by the Rangers back in 2010. It's a part of the Matt Garza trade, actually 3 years ago. Rangers and Cubs. 2-1 pitch. There's Sam Freeman getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. Two balls, two strikes. And that caught the corner.
Hey, Grimm reaching back that time, 95 with that fastball. Hey, it's an interleague matchup between the Crew and the Halos Monday, May 2nd through Wednesday, the 4th, as the Brewers and the Angels square off in a 3-game series at Miller Park. To reserve your spot, call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com. Mike Trout coming to town. Albert Pujols.
Pujols, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. The Brewers will be dipping back into American League opponents.
But no DH.
No DH. Ramon Flores now in there for the Crew, pinch hitting. Well, leadoff single from Lucroy, but back-to-back strikeouts. Carter's swinging, Neuenhuis looking. Angels, by the way, have split their first 22 games. First, the Marlins will be in town starting tomorrow night. 1-1 pitch. Well, you've seen Hernan Perez and now Ramon Flores come off the bench here so far for the Brewers. 4 hits for Milwaukee. 3 and a run off Jake Arrieta. And Ross with a block.
And one of the big question marks for the Cubs coming into the season was, how was their bullpen going to be able to, get things done, get some outs? But I think Joe Maddon very pleased so far by the way his bullpen has performed. The relievers have a .326 earned run average.
And certainly not overworked. Strike 3 called. A leadoff single, and then strikeouts of Carter, Neuenhuis, and Flores. Cubs still up by 5. Lead the Brewers 6-1. Hey, Brewers fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, you can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store, download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Brewers wherever you go. All right, Brewers turning to the bullpen again. Third pitcher of the day after Youngman started. Capuano worked as well, and now Sam Freeman gets his turn.
Yeah, it was picked up from the Texas Rangers in exchange, or on April 5th. Was designated for assignment by the Rangers. He worked out a deal, and last pitched on Thursday against the Twins at Miller Park. Gave up 4 runs in a couple of innings. He could use a good outing. He's got a terrific arm, but seems to fall behind in the count. Freeman, one of 2 left-handers in that Brewers bullpen.
And he will face Javier Baez.
A good changeup.
Yeah, that's the thing with Freeman. We've talked about it. He does have some very good stuff if he could just get it dialed in. He's getting that chance. See what he can do with it here today.
Yeah, throw strikes, good quality strikes, and use that changeup and breaking pitch. There's a good breaking ball.
And there's a chance for VR, showing that arm, but can't get it there in time. As Carter comes off the bag, no choice, and that will be an infield single.
I was putting down E6.
I was about to, and then we got the thumbs up here.
And the official score didn't even look at it.
Ah.
This is a ground ball to short, folks. I mean, he's out easily if the throw's good. I can't see how you give him a hit on that. It's a ground ball to short. Bad throw, and they give him a hit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a quick thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Yep, hit. Give him a hit. Everything's a hit.
Here's Anthony Rizzo. See his day. 23 runs batted in this month of April.
Yeah, looking over in the press box, you see, writers and people looking at each other. Well, you got to be kidding me.
You're right.
They're dumbfounded over there. Yeah, there they are. They're looking around. I can only imagine what Tom Hargicourt's saying. There's our official score, I guess.
2-0 pitch to Rizzo. Fastball had popped in and out of the mitt of Lucroy, and Baez moves to second.
Might be a. I'm not sure how he's going to score that. I'm going to wait.
Three 3-0 to Rizzo. And another walk. First given up here by Freeman, but a ton of them here now surrendered by Brewers pitching.
And this has been the problem for Sam Freeman, not being able to throw strikes. I mean, it doesn't really matter how good of an arm you have if you can't throw them over the plate. This is one team, this Cubs offense, you don't need to help. 7 walks, 2 hit batters.
And now Ben Zobrist showing bunt and takes a strike. For the record, it was a pass ball.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but didn't want to say.
Yeah, I know. I'm clarifying the seemingly obvious.
You never know.
Right. Never assume. Something about the Cubs just makes us a little salty.
Yeah.
We'll admit it.
You get upset even at the official score, right?
That's right.
It was supposed to be impartial. I'm sure he is.
Freeman with the 1-1. Zobrist, a 2-run single to open up the scoring in the first inning. First two have reached here for the Cubs in the sixth. But Freeman, that ERA those last couple of years, last year with the Rangers, year before with the Cardinals, is very good. 3.05 a year ago, 261, 41 games in 2014 with the Cardinals.
Pretty good numbers last year, right? I mean,
right.
Kind of surprising that the Rangers.
Strike three called, and Rizzo was breaking with second base occupied, and now the throw gets away from VR, and it has been that type of day for the Brewers.
They can't just making one mistake after another. Now, Lucroy did the right thing. You know, Rizzo running to second base. Baez just standing at second. Lucroy played it right. He ran at the runner at second. Check out Lucroy. He does the right thing here. Baez commits himself. And Rivera just flat out dropped the baseball. I guess the throw could have been a little higher, but certainly one you got to handle. And Freeman gets a strikeout, but runners now at first and third. Who are they giving the error to?
No word yet.
Can't imagine it's a stolen base.
No, can't be.
I mean, it's either an E4 or an E2. And my guess is going to be an E4 because it wasn't that bad a throw. And Rivera was trying to run before he had it in his hand, had it in his glove.
The Cubs are trying to help the Brewers. It turns into the other way around. A ball, a strike to Tommy La Stella. A foul pop in the first. Run scoring double in the third. Walked and scored in the fifth. And the fastball misses inside. Well, the Brewers with a couple of errors here this afternoon.
No scoring decision yet.
No.
Maybe he's trying to figure out how to get Ben Zobrist a hit. That would be an E4.
Yeah, that would be. They were saying E6.
No, it's E4.
No, Rivera's playing second today, so it would be an error.
Rivera dropped it.
Yes.
You think we can go ahead and say E4 instead?
I'm putting E4 in my scorebook. A full count to La Stella. And he pops this one up. It'll carry out a play. We just need somebody to yell at. Doesn't really matter who, just somebody.
Go ahead, I'm right behind you, buddy.
Go stir it up. Payoff pitch. And the bases are loaded. 8 walks now given up by Brewers pitching.
This has not been a clinic this inning, and you know the Brewers are having a rough inning, but hadn't been a very good inning for the official score either.
Well, you see Lucroy just giving Freeman a little tap there. Just hang in, stay with it, settle. If you can't get a double play, ground ball,
right?
Anything here. What's that score sheet say?
I don't know.
It's E6. Somebody correct that individual.
Right.
It's the one thing I've discovered in my time pinch hitting for BA. You are, and I respect it. You're a stickler for doing it the right way.
Yeah.
You know, wild pitch is a wild pitch. Pass ball, pass ball. E4, E6. Get it right. Hit or an error. Get it right. Either side.
A hit's a hit, right? Error's an error, no matter what the score.
Oh, 0-2 to Russell. 22-year-old shortstop. First round pick. This franchise, or actually the A's franchise, in 2012. That was the draft that had Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, 1-2. A ball, 2 strikes. And for the record, they have officially corrected the error. He's on it. Got it.
Zach was all over him. I saw him over there trying to convince him that it was the second baseman and not the shortstop.
Zach Weber. Thumbs up.
Way to go, Zach.
Having been known to misidentify, I personally should lay off the guy.
No.
But I'm not.
No, we were right. I mean, it was an E4. I don't have to change my scorecard.
No, exactly. Good work, Zach. 1-2 the count. Here it comes. There's a ground ball. VR. Rivera won, and he had it long enough. Lost it on the transfer. La Stella is retired. But man, another chance for a double play. They don't get it, and it cost him a run.
One of those days. That should have been a double play. Lost it on the transfer. It would have been a double play had Rivera been able to keep it in his glove. He's got a terrific arm, but yep, he's got it and dropped it, and no double play, and a run scores.
So RBI for Russell, and runners at first and third. Man, a couple of chances, the double plays not turned in this Brewers club. Here's David Ross. The Cubs stacking base runners again in an inning where this time they have one hit, ruled a hit.
Yeah.
Seven runs, 7 hits for the Cubbies. A run on 4 for the Brewers. Already the 28th pitch of this inning coming up for Sam Freeman. Taylor Youngman needed 95. He went 3 2/3. Capuano 33 in an inning and a third. Well, as you said, though, Rock, when you have so many pitches outside the strike zone, so many extended at bats, it does make it tough for the infielders.
Well, and again, I mean, that's you know, the old adage, but I mean, if you're out there, you got to be ready to make a play to help out your pitcher. Pitcher struggling out there, you get a double play ball. The Brewers have not been able to turn them in consecutive innings.
And the third walk of the inning, the 9th in the game now. Given up by Brewers pitching is pitching coach Derek Johnson, making his way to the mound here at Wrigley Field. Bases loaded yet again for the Cubs.
And it certainly doesn't help that, you know, the weather out there, and it's the same for the Cubs. I get it, but you know, when you're throwing a lot of pitches out of the strike zone, the hands get cold, and sometimes the body doesn't work the way you want it. Some of that's on the pitching, but most of it's on the infield. You got to figure out ways to be ready to make a play.
Not able to turn it. Slow getting it out of the glove or losing it on the transfer. Brewers pitchers have combined for 158 offerings here this afternoon. 78 out of the strike zone, 80 are strikes. That's just not going to get it done.
No.
Here's Matt Caesar. Pinch hitting. Former multi-sport star at Villanova. Terrific football player. Multi-purpose. Way to returning kicks for that. They used to call it 1AA, and a few years ago in the college ranks in football, they now call it the FCS, the Football Championship Subdivision. They have a longer playoff than you see in the 1A or bowl subdivision, but he was a very good football player. And not bad at this sport as well. 0-2 the count. Most of last year with AAA Iowa. Did play 47 games with the big club a year ago. 26 years old. Freeman with the 0-2. And Luke Roy required to block another one. Cubs homestand continues after today's game. The Braves are in town. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Then they have a big long homestand. Big stretch here for the Cubbies here at the home park. Joe Maddon's team winning on Monday and in control here this afternoon in the 6th. Cubs coming into this game with the bases loaded are hitting .423. 2-2 to Caesar. And a line drive, and it's snagged by Yadiel Rivera. A long inning, but only a run scores. The Cubs now lead at 7-1. Up on what has happened here today. Brewers had a big chance off Jake Arrieta the first inning. Bases loaded, 1 out, but back-to-back strikeouts of Carter and Neuenhuis, and then the Cubs able to deliver Ben Zobrist, and then there's David Ross with a solo shot to open up the second inning for Chicago. Adding to it is Anthony Rizzo, bangs this one near the corner. Tommy La Stella as the hit parade continues. But finally, Arrieta gives up a run at home. This double off the bat of Alex Presley, scoring Jonathan Villar, and that snapped Arrieta's home scoreless streak at 52 2/3 innings. Matt Caesar pinch hit, stays in the game in left field, and Javier Baez, who was in left, now over at third base for Chicago. Is on the mound now for the Cubbies is Trevor Cahill.
Well, his problem has been the 2 home runs that he's allowed, a .635 earned run average. Third different organization for Trevor Cahill. He spent time with the A's, the Diamondbacks, and now the Cubs. 11 games with Chicago last year and a .212 earned run average. Spent most of the year down in the minor leagues.
Facing Yadiel Rivera. Rivera today a ground ball to second and a strikeout in the 5th. Brewers with just 4 hits here this afternoon, which was what they had on Monday night, or I keep saying Monday, Tuesday night. The rainout crossed me up.
Right. Yeah, Monday off day. Tuesday, Brewers took a loss, and rain out yesterday.
There we go.
Now we got it. Now we got bird issues out in right field.
Yes, we do.
They get a sense of when the game's coming to an end. Going down and getting a few morsels in the bleachers.
Rivera strikes out swinging. There's out number 1.
Leftover hot dog buns and soft pretzels.
They're going to work. Look at that.
Sunflower seeds down there. Some nachos.
Yeah. It's happy hour. Hernan Perez. And there's one fan with all his friends. Texting, of course.
Trying to figure out a way to get out of that area with all the birds. I would imagine they didn't make a mess over there.
Two balls, 1 strike to Hernan Perez. He comes up as Scooter Gennett was put on the 15-day disabled list with oblique tightness. And a full count to Perez. The Cubs doing some early damage here today. Showed you the game summary. A couple of runs in the first, another in the second, a couple of more in the third. And you give Jake Arrieta that kind of cushion, good luck to you. But Arrieta went but 5 innings, so his streak of consecutive quality starts stops at 24. And Perez back up the middle and past the diving Zobrist in a base hit.
Yeah, there's a nice at bat by Hernan Perez, and he does. That's what he does so well. He stays in the baseball, doesn't try and pull it. And Perez with a base hit. He's 1 for 2 today. Staying back, that high leg kick lets the ball travel and just hits it hard up the middle, out of the reach of Zobrist, and into center field. Got a glove on it, slowed it down a bit, but Perez with a single.
Here's Jonathan Villar. And at the plate presented by Blaze Pizza. It's been a good day for Villar. A couple of hits off of Arrieta today. 3 stolen bases as well. Scored the run off of the double from Alex Presley. That ended that long streak of scoreless baseball at home for Arrieta. Two strikes and nothing to Villar. Perez is running. The pitch is fouled at the plate. The Brewers trying to run. The problem is they just haven't been able to stack many base runners.
Yeah. Slim pickings out there on the bases for Milwaukee. And when the Brewers do get base runners, the Cub pitching staff has been able to get their strikeouts.
Oh, 2 pitch. Trevor Cahill, the third pitcher used by Joe Madden today. Second round pick from the Oakland A's, or by the Oakland A's 10 years ago. Was an all-star as an A back in 2010. The 1-2. In that year, that all-star year, Cahill was 18-8. The starter the following year led the American League in number of starts with 34.
Yeah, well, 2.97 ERA back in 2010. Over 200 innings. And Joe Madden said last year when he got called up, those 11 appearances, really a big shot in the arm to that Cubs bullpen that was getting a bit worn out. Good numbers for him out of the pen last year.
Runner goes, pitch is swung on and missed, and the throw down gets away. So moving to third will be Perez. He'll get the stolen base. Villar out on strikes, second out of the inning. That is the 5th stolen base today for the Brewers. That is a season high. And he'll advance on the error. Time out for cricket, something to smile about. And Alex Presley does. Well, the Brewers are down today, but this Presley double scored Villar. Mentioned it ended that scoreless streak for Jake Arrieta. So Alex Presley has had himself a pretty good first week as a Brewer. A pinch homer on Sunday, and today against the best in the game, he drives in a run.
Yeah, rips one down the line with 2 outs to get the Brewers on the board today. Stolen base E2. Give Ross an error to get Perez over to third base.
One and one now to Presley. Another RBI chance for him. There you see what he has done in his short time with the big league club. The 1-2.
Got a pretty good changeup working with some pretty good movement on it. Presley able to hold up. Fastball, slider, changeup for Trevor Cahill.
It's a lot of ground balls, or certainly he did last year. A 63% ground ball rate, as a matter of fact, in 2015. A couple members of that Cubs bullpen who have made the move from being a starter to a reliever. A little more hop on their fastball, as you might imagine. 2-2 pitch. That fastball misses. And a lot of full counts in this game, and another one now to Alex Presley. Hernan Perez, the runner at third. And there is ball 4. So, runners at the corners for Ryan Braun. Trying to extend what is an 8-game hitting streak. He was part of that threat in the first inning when the Brewers ended up leaving the bases loaded. Milwaukee is grounded into a double play and grounded to second. Third in the National League in batting average coming into the game is Braun.
That on-base percentage almost 440.
Which has him in the top 6. Terrific numbers against the Cubs. Trying to add to that right now. And this is popped up. No problem for Zobrist. And that'll do it. Here for the Brewers in the 7th. They strand a couple. It's 7-1 Cubs. The Brewers 7-1 series finale after the rain out last night. Let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lights. Brewers will be facing a couple of left-handers to begin the series with the Marlins. Zach Davies gets the call for the Crew tomorrow night. Adam Conley for Miami. Chase Anderson and Wei-Yin Chen on Saturday. Sunday afternoon, Willie Peralta, Tom Kohler. Tomorrow night, our coverage starts at 6:30 at Miller Park, right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Sam Freeman labored through the 6th, but he got through it. Now he will be back out there in the 7th inning facing Dexter Fowler. First pitch swinging, a ground ball to Carter. One pitch, one out here in the 7th.
And Brewers still looking for their first 3-up, 3-down inning here today. It'd be nice to see Sam Freeman, throw some strikes, get the Brewers back in that dugout.
Through the first 6 innings, the Cubs have had just one where they haven't scored. That was the 4th. Left him loaded. Here's Jason Hayward. Little chopper back to Freeman, and quickly there are 2 men out.
And Jason Hayward has had a difficult time today getting the bat head out. He's been jammed quite a bit today, including that at bat right there.
0 for 9 in the series.
He did hit the ball hard his last time out. That was a diving play for Chris Carter with the bases loaded.
Here's Javier Baez. A versatile player. Some would make a comparison with the versatility to Ben Zobrist. His ability to play a lot of different positions for Joe Maddon's team.
Yeah, Joe Maddon says he's the best defender in a number of different positions out there. Yeah, good third baseman. He plays the outfield extremely well.
He's been in both spots today. Entered in left field for Chris Bryant. Now playing third. Bryant left. He was twice hit by a pitch, but that wasn't the problem. He rolled his ankle. So he did it running the bases. So they pulled him out. We'll evaluate him further. This is a team that earlier today put Miguel Montero on the disabled list. A little back issue. Then in the first week of the season, lost Kyle Schwarber, season-ending knee injury. A cold day here in Wrigley. Stay warm any way you can. And Baez draws a walk. So the Brewers still unable to retire the Cubs in order this afternoon. And now Freeman will face Anthony Rizzo, who's been tough to retire, period, today. Came into the game having walked 14 times. And he has added 3 to that total this afternoon. Also an RBI double in the third. Ten walks.
Yeah.
Now given up by Brewers pitching.
4 by Sam Freeman. Capuano walked 3, and Taylor Youngman had 3 walks.
This RBI total for Rizzo at 23 this month. That is the most by a Cub in April, says Derek Lee, back in 2008. Aramis Ramirez, of course, the former Brewer, back in 08 as a Cub, had a 22 RBI month in April. 2-1 pitch. Caught the corner at 93. And it's blocked by Lucroy, but gets away just enough, and Baez will advance.
Yeah, tried to get him on a changeup. So Sam Freeman going changeup, lefty versus lefty. You don't see too many left-handers do that. Pretty much put that changeup in their pocket against left-handed batters. You see the changeup, and Rizzo, the left-hander, down in the dirt.
Strike 3 called. Freeman recovers from the wild pitch, catches Rizzo looking, and we are through 7. Cubs lead 7-1. Field 7-1. Cubs lead the Brewers. Hey, download the MLB.com ballpark app and personalize your trip to Miller Park with digital ticket access, seat upgrades, food and beverage maps, check-in offers, and more. Download Ballpark today, free for your smartphone or tablet. Chilly day at the ballpark. There's Jonathan Lucroy. They're all bundled up. It was like this on Tuesday night as well. Maybe a little worse on Tuesday night. Let's get the heat lamps going. Stay warm any way you can. Lucroy has singled to center his last trip. He's also walked a couple of times. They'll try to start a new hitting streak. Hitless on Tuesday. That snapped an 8-game run for him.
They're still catching just about every day. Martin Maldonado has had a difficult time finding that lineup. Saw Martin strapping on the shin guards earlier today before the game, trying to get some workout in. Making some throws, catching a bullpen, doing what he can to stay ready. The life of a backup catcher. Not easy. Not easy to stay ready and gain speed. Just can't replicate that in batting practice.
He had to play some extended time a year ago. There he is. A little look there. Injuries to Lucroy, the broken toe, the concussion. But as we said, Maldonado, terrific defensively. Tremendous arm. You run on him, you really are taking a high risk.
Yeah, second year of a 2-year contract he signed before last year.
Craig Counsell has talked a lot about, if you want to call it a luxury, but however you want to term it, they have 2 really good catchers, 2 really good guys behind the plate, will block pitches, work with pitchers well, throw out base runners. Lucroy he just wants to be in there every day.
Yeah. Come to the ballpark to play. He doesn't come to the ballpark to sit and watch. That's our job.
That's what we do.
We sit and watch.
Two-two pitch. Ducks out of the way of the curve. Been busy behind the plate, Lucroy. Brewers pitchers have thrown it 176 times so far this afternoon. We are in the 8th inning. Cubs won the opener of this series on Tuesday night.
Good game, 4-3.
It was. Aaron Hill with a runner on. Got one a little too high in the air in the wrong direction into the wind in left field. Otherwise, he likely would have had enough to give his team the lead.
And another good start by Jimmy Nelson. He continues to throw the ball well.
But today's a day where it's just been tough for the Brewers trying to give themselves a chance. Missed opportunities to turn double plays, double-digit walks. Lucroy, for the 3rd time today, draws a walk. He has reached in all 4 of his plate appearances, 3 walks and a single.
7-1 game, and Cahill's throwing 3-2 changeups. That'll burn your manager up. And here comes Chris Bosio. I knew he was going to come out. He's going to. Are you kidding me with that pitch?
Yeah, this is one we can just sit back and watch, as you described on Tuesday. This again figures to be a one-sided conversation. That's Pedro Strop.
Yeah, can I remind you what the score is here?
And here we go.
Throwing 3-2 changeups. Okay. Did Cahill actually say anything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I saw that changeup going to dirt. I looked in that Cubs dugout, and I saw Chris Bosio starting to move around, and he was not happy.
You're looking right in the eye, too, won't he? Here's Chris Carter. Been a tough day at the plate for the big man. Struck out 3 times here this afternoon.
Back in the day, you know, you sit back there and it's a 3-2 count, 8th inning, 6-run lead, and you know, pitcher shakes off a fastball. You call timeout.
Exactly. There's a ground ball that's going to turn into a 4-3 double play. Zobrist to Rizzo. It's been that kind of a day at the plate for Carter.
Yeah. You call timeout. You calmly go out there and say, "Are you kidding me? You're going to throw something other than a fastball?" Game hadn't changed that much.
No, the other part is when you're the old line, when you're hot, you're hot. You start the inning by giving up a walk, throwing a 3-2 change, and then the next guy up hits into a double play.
Right.
That's when you know you are living well.
Things are going good.
Cubs come in with a 15-5 record. Their best start in over a century. Kirk Neuenhuis. Good first month in this city. White Sox 16-6. Best record in the American League. Neuenhuis, little tapper. Cahill, and the throw is wide of Rizzo. Well, that'll be an error charged to the pitcher. That's the 4th error combined today, 2 each side.
Well, thought he had to be quick with the throw to first base. He did not. He gets there in plenty of time, sidearms it, and Rizzo, although Rizzo really wasn't ready to move either way, he was anticipating a perfect throw. He's flat-footed over there. And Cahill will be charged with an error.
Here's Colin Walsh. looking for big league hit number 2. Got his first one last week against Irvin Santana up at Target Field. Rule 5 pick. Three balls, one strike. Almost got that double off of Santana. Ripped one down the line.
That's going to be it.
Ooh, second walk of the inning given up by Cahill.
If Strope's ready, which I think he is, I don't think Joe Maddon's going to mess around here. And here he comes.
Yep.
That's a surefire way to get out of a game. You start walking guys with a big lead.
And an error on top of it. So a 6-run lead, but Maddon will go to his pen. And Pedro Strop will come on. 7-1 Chicago as we continue from Wrigley Field. Inning. 7-1 Cubs lead the Brewers. Cahill exits and now Pedro Strop on the mound.
Yeah, setup man for the Cubs, and I would imagine that Joe Maddon really didn't want to have to use back end of his bullpen here today. 10th appearance. Strop's been very good. That's a good pitch for him, that slider.
Yep. He will throw that as often as his fastball. That's part of the book on him. Yadiel Rivera. A ground ball and a couple of strikeouts for Rivera today. Fastball's chopped foul. Last year, Strop appeared in 76 games. That was a career high. Two-strike pitch. Waves and does not get it. Rivera strikes out, and we move to the bottom of the 8th. 7-1 Cubs.
8th we go here at Wrigley Field. Brett Kushan, Jerry Augustine getting set for Brewers Live post game here at the ballpark. The rain held out, but that's one of the only positive things here this afternoon. Unfortunately, Augie, boy, you add up the free passes, the 4 errors, 17 walks, 2 hit batters combined by these two teams. But this one, pretty much all Chicago.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, we talked in a pregame show about that run differential early in the ball games by the Cubs baseball team, and you look at the 5 runs in the first 3 innings, getting on the board early for Jake Arrieta, really the difference in the ball game.
You know, and Jake Arrieta has started, his run differential is 45-6 advantage his ball club gives him. That's plus 39, and they got the runs early against Youngman here today, and they keep on keeping on before this one's over. Zobrist now reaches. We'll hear from Craig Counsell and the crew coming up on Brewers Live postgame. Matt.
All right, Craig, Augie, thank you very much. And in fact, Ben Zobrist.
First pitch.
Yep.
A ringing base hit into right field. There's the numbers for Carlos Torres, who is in his 10th appearance here today. A .506 earned run average. He has given up the 3 home runs. Most of the damage against this Brewers bullpen, as you see these guys come in, has been the long ball. Capuano had an issue with it. Torres has given up 3 himself.
This is Tim Fedorovich. They called him up when Miguel Montero was put on the 15-day disabled list. And he will now pinch hit for the Cubbies. Did not appear in the big leagues last year, did Fedorovich. Out with an injury, cost him the entire season. Was had an injury for a tear in the lateral meniscus in the middle of March. 28 years old.
And no telling what the Cubs are going to do with their catching situation. The question is David Ross going to be able to play on a regular basis? I mean, he came into the season as the personal catcher for John Lester. And he'll sprinkle him in the lineup from time to time, but it looks like David Ross going to get a lot of playing time all of a sudden with Montero out.
Yeah, Lester is tomorrow's starter for the Cubs. They open up the series here in Chicago against the Atlanta Braves. Fedorovich signed a minor league contract with the Cubs in January. He was originally drafted by the Boston Red Sox. Here's a fly ball hit into right field. That's Alex Presley. And there's out number 1. Carlos Torres trying to keep the Cubs off the board. The Cubs never have been retired in order here today. And they have only been held off the board in a couple of innings, the 4th and the 7th. Here is Addison Russell.
You see who's on deck for the Cubs?
Yeah, how about that? Here's a hint in case you can't recognize the face. His ERA is better than Arrieta's.
Right, yeah. Jason Hamill, pitcher. Cubs are out of players.
Yes, they have gone through them all. Fedorovich was the last of their available. Foul tip. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hamill's ERA is at sub 1. 0.75 actually. 0.75 ERA. You got to dig a little bit to find a weakness with this Cubs team at this early stage of the season.
Yeah, it is early, but they're starting to come up with some injuries. You talk about Schwarber being out for the season, or left fielder. Montero on the disabled list. What does Joe Madden have up his sleeve? He'll come up with something.
Full count to Russell. Mentioned this best start in more than a century for the Cubs. You have to be exact, go back to 1907. 15-5 this year. They started that year 16-4 and actually 17-4. So they were into some very rare air.
Yeah. Yeah, the Cubs as a team, and we were talking about all the accolades for Jake Arrieta all day long. You got to go back a century to, look and see anybody that's been able to do what he's done.
3-2 pitch. A game of deep counts. There you see it. It's what this franchise is up against, what this team is trying to do. Had a championship flag. Torres again with a payoff. And he walked it. That is the 11th walk given up by Brewers pitching here this afternoon. Leadoff single from Zobrist. Fly ball, and now a walk to Russell. And now Jason Hammel, and as you can see, he's not exactly an automatic out.
What did you say? You got to go back to 1907, did you say?
So, yeah, for a better start.
Yeah, the Cubs that year were 107-45 in first place.
Yep. They started well and ended well.
That was when Frank Chance was leading the Cubs. He was the manager that year.
That's right. That was the first of their back-to-back World Series championship teams. Swept the Tigers that year, if you'll recall. Or you won't.
If you recall.
Just checking. Just checking to see who's listening.
I'm paying attention. Yeah. Okay. Oh, well.
It was a 4-0, not quite as sweet, because actually there was a tie that year as we look it up. Hammel goes down swinging. There's out number 2. In the following year, the Cubs beat the Tigers. And they've been trying to break through ever since. There's Matt Caesar. His second at bat. He lined to Rivera in the 6th. Going after the first pitch, and this will carry out of play. Yeah, it's going to hurt you try to catch it in this weather.
Going to leave a mark, and you still don't even have the baseball.
Guy wanted to shake his hand, said no, not having it. Fly ball to right. Alex Presley is there, and the inning is over. And they leave a couple. We go to the ninth with the Cubs in control. 7-1 Cubs. We go to the ninth inning here at Wrigley Field. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the night with luxury. Tim Fedorovich, who came in to pinch hit, will stay in the game behind the plate. And now Neil Ramirez on to finish it up, or try to, for the Cubs.
Yep, and hopefully the Brewers are able to get deeper into that bullpen. Already the fourth reliever used by Joe Madden here today, and his sixth appearance for Ramirez, and a .360 earned run average.
Hernan Perez, 1 for 2 today. His first cuts as a Brewer this season. Singled to center back in the 7th inning. He has one of the 5 stolen bases the Brewers have recorded today. 3 of them from Jonathan Villar. Well, it's been pretty much a one-sided tussle here. Brewers missed a big chance in the first. Had him loaded with 1 out against Jake Arrieta. But then back-to-back strikeouts kept the Brewers off the board. The Cubs put a couple on in the bottom of the first, added 1 in the second, 2 more in the third. A couple since. But any thoughts of a no-hitter ended with the first hitter. Villar, a broken bat single to left off of Arrieta. Villar actually had a couple of hits, or has a couple of hits today. He'll have another opportunity shortly. 2 strikes and nothing to Hernan Perez. The 1 run came off of Arrieta in the 5th inning. Ramirez with a 1-2. And just getting a piece. Again, the 1-2. And that caught the corner. There's out number 1 here in the ninth.
Yeah, pretty close on that corner. A little bit too close to take with 2 strikes. Not sure where Fox Tracks had it, but I guess close enough to call, close enough to swing at. Looks like it was a little bit off the plate, but not much.
And now Jonathan Villar. 2 for 3 with a walk. Hey, Ramirez was part of that Rangers Cubs swap back in August of 2013 that involved Matt Garza. Ramirez coming to the Cubbies. And Garza today, earlier today, moved to the 60-day disabled list.
Yeah, to make room for Perez. He was not on the roster.
Scooter Gennett on the 15-day DL, oblique tightness. That is hit well back into center field. Fowler on the run, looking up. It's off the wall. And this will be a 3-hit afternoon for Jonathan Villar. 1 out double here in the ninth.
Yeah, bucking a stiff wind coming in from center field, and Villar able to knock one off the base of the fence out there, the wall. And puts a charge into it. Villar showing some pretty good power to the opposite field. Up and over the head of Dexter Fowler out there in center. And that'll be a 1-out double. So a good day at the plate. 3 hits and a walk for Villar. 3 stolen bases. He's already scored a run.
And that was courtesy of the man at the plate right now, Alex Presley, who doubled to right in the 5th. So 6 hits for the crew, 3 of them coming from Jonathan Villar. That is blocked, but it gets away from Fedorovich. Wild pitch will have VR over to third.
Yeah, do enough damage here in the ninth to force Joe Madden to bring in his closer. Yeah, get something going, get him sweating a little bit in that dugout. And Madden looking at his lineup card to see what's coming up.
Madden needed Hector Rondon to finish up on Tuesday night. A 1-out double, then a wild pitch has VR to third. A ball, 2 strikes to Presley. Stays right on it, but fouls it back.
Presley, a pretty good high ball hitter for a left-handed batter. I mean, most left-handed hitters like the ball down. Not that he can't handle the pitch down, but yeah, the base hit, the double that he got off of Arrieta was somewhat up in his zone. He's able to center on it.
Ramirez last year had limited work, had some injury issues, shoulder trouble, oblique. Appeared in just 19 games a year ago. The year before, he appeared in 50. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Presley gets some good at-bats when he's in there. He's got one going right now.
It stands right in there. It's a nice short stroke to the baseball and doesn't overswing. Tough guy to strike out.
And continuing to prove the point. The last guy to go in spring training at a good Cactus League. Called up last Thursday. Ramirez again, the 2-2. And again, a full count.
Yeah, still battling are the Brewer hitters. I mean, just keep digging their nose in there in the at-bats. They've had 9 foul balls in this inning. Most of them coming from this guy at the plate. Not him, the guy at the plate.
There he is. Now the 3-2. Swung on, hit in the air, right field. Hayward near the track. He'll make the catch, but tagging is VR, and he will score. And both runs the Brewers have today, courtesy of Alex Presley. This a sac fly.
Yeah, good battle at the plate for Presley, and maybe on a different day, he might have had himself a 2-run homer, but with the wind blowing in, nothing doing.
So Ryan Braun, likely his final chance today to extend his hitting streak. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. 8-game hitting streak on the line. A check swing has him down a strike. Top 3 in batting average, top 6 in on base percentage coming into the game. The chopper back to the mound. And that'll do it here in Chicago this afternoon. Brewers had a chance early against Jake Arrieta. Came up empty, left them loaded in the first. Cubs went to work, scored a couple in the first, added to it in innings 2 and 3. And they sweep what turns out to be a 2-game series here at Wrigley Field. Cubs a winner this afternoon, 7-2. Let's send it downstairs. Standing by, Craig Cashon and Jerry Augustine with Brewers Live.
Okay, Matt, thanks very much. Tough one here for Milwaukee. A lot of hype going in on Jake Arrieta. We'll look at his matchup with Taylor Youngman. Brewers headed back home for the weekend will set the stage for the Miami Marlins when we come back to Wrigley Field.